Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Main Event, Triple J, now entering Yo City. This is a special week for us here at the Three Bells Podcast. Oh, it's a Monday slash week takeover by me and my guy, Mr. Shane O'Mac. Let him know how you feeling, Shane.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money
Uh-huh.
talks.
Here comes the money.
It's me, your homie Shane O'Mac, coming to you live from the East New York section here at the Three Bells Podcast table. As the homie Jay said, it's just us two out here tonight, but that's okay because we have a whole lot to say and a whole lot to cover. We had a jam packed Raw episode to cover, and we got a whole bunch of rumors and hot takes and so much more. Jay, what's good, baby? Get it started. Hit it.
Yes, sir. Get him.
No, wake up, Jay. Wake up. It's time.
Yes, sir. Hit him with the three bells. That's what I was saying. I was saying, get him. Just get him tonight.
Wake
Yeah,
up,
twice,
Shane. Wake up. Wake up. I was
twice for the
snoring
one
for a second.
twos. I'm wide awake. I'm definitely wide awake for this one, my guy. How we feeling? You feeling all right tonight?
Yes, I'm,
Oh,
I'm wide awake. And excuse me for that little snore. I had to get that out. But yeah, I'm in the house. I'm in his house now, baby. What's up,
oh,
man?
oh man. What a way we started tonight, bro. That Rhea Ripley. Shit,
Mm,
man. That shit
mm.
hurt.
Yeah, not not
Oh,
not the best of news for one of our favorite ladies, man. Not cool at all, man. But yo, what happened? Like, why are we so sad right now? Why are we opening on a sad note, Jay? That's not cool. What's
oh,
going on?
like what? Yo, when we got that word earlier that she was hurt and injured and had to vacate the title, I was like, no, because this shit was this shit broke in the morning, like close to noon. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh, fuck, fucking Liv Morgan, what the hell you done did to her? Messing up all the momentum that my girl just had. Oh,
So
and
so so do we remember when this incident happened that caused this injury for Rhea?
supposedly, like when I rewatched the video of when Liv jumped the last week, Liv
Hmm.
threw her arm into the wall, and you see quickly Rhea went to grab that arm. So maybe it was already previously injured at Mania, and this was her way out of it. That's probably my thoughts, and she probably already knew she had to give up the title. So
Right, right. Yeah,
she she got to. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was saying I kind of thought that same thing because that clip was circling around Twitter on how she was backstage and out of nowhere this is what we were talking about and then Miss Morgan grabbed her, threw her against the wall, and then she's like, she cuddles herself against the corner or the wall like a little hallway path. And then here comes Dom, standing over her and telling the camera, move, move, move. And then that's where we had that cool camera shot. But yeah, like you saying, it could have been anywhere between there. But then I did look at that video real carefully, and it kind of looked like she didn't like land parallel to the wall. Like it almost looked as if the back of her shoulder kind of hit the wall, causing it
Mm.
to almost like pop forward, to almost pop it out of its socket, which is why she's in a little thing now. But the doctors, they can always they can snap that jammy back, but it can still be. not mobile enough. So she would have to rest up for a little bit. Like if that's their angle, then yeah, I could believe that. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
mean, hey, it was sad, man. It's sad, and we're all heartbroken because that's our girl. We was all rooting for her, and she won, and we were celebrating with her and Judgment Day, and today thinking that we're going to see an interesting exchange between her and Liv, or her and Mia, or whomever is trying to go after that title, and this is what we get, man. This is I have an audio if you'd like for me to play it, Jay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, I hope you have your tissues ready, your tissues for your eye ready.
This right here, this championship, this means the most to me in my entire life. And that's why this is so painful.
They raised on the title on the mat. She's looking down at it. He gives an evil stare at the camera.
Revenge tour. This is all because you're stupid little revenge tour, Liv. Are you kidding me? Because your revenge tour, Liv. Are you bloody killing me right now? I could have actually had some respect for you if you decided to do it face to face. But instead you decided to blindside me like the coward that I know you are.
So Jay, let me ask: does Rhea have a point in terms of, okay, so instead of facing me, face to face, you wanna basically attack me with my back turned?
Right. Yeah. I would have been upset at that too, because I remember when they did have their fight before that, it was a one-on-one, and they were face to face,
Mm-hmm.
and Liv got hurt in similar fashion. But you can't be doing this just because of that to her, and then be happy about it. Like that shit pissed me off. Like, nah, you gonna get hurt when she comes back. I feel sorry for the whole women's roster. She
Yeah, it didn't help when Liv Morgan came out as she was ending her speech in the ring. Liv Morgan comes out and she's like just laughing at her, just mocking her. And Rhea was so upset that she got out of the ring and she was going to charge at Liv, but then the security had backed off and caused her to not touch Liv, and you had referees that was backing her up also, and she just kept on laughing like that whole time. Talk about a pie in the face, talking about mushing someone in the face. Liv does all of that, and then at the time when she's like, this is her, this is a Syria that unfortunately we have to see because of the actions of someone else, where she has to relinquish this title that she worked so hard to get and even harder to keep. So, and now she has to lay it down in the ring, leave it open for anyone to take. I mean, at this point, who knows who's going to get it? I'm not going to sit here, Jay, and automatically think that Liv is going to get it because she's on this revenge tour shit. Again, isn't it
I
fair
don't
to
believe.
say that everybody is on some type of revenge tour? But just because you
Pretty
give it a
much.
fancy name that gives you like like top billing as like the next person to get it, like I'm not buying this, Jay. I don't know about you, I'm not buying this, man.
Nah, I was never buying this from the jump when she first started her shit, like with Becky. I was like,
Hmm.
nah, you're not gonna start this with her, and then want to interfere in matches or just do awkward shit, and you're really causing a lot of havoc, and it's not fun. You're really becoming a heel, that a female heel that you're not gonna be liked. But this is what's gonna build who she is. So I'll sit back and watch her. But nah. I'm just upset, like the injury and everything. I just wanted Rhea to continue with her title defenses, and like guess like she said, all because of your stupid little revenge tour. Like, bro, you couldn't wait for me to beat this chick, and then after Mania, come down face to face with me, and then let me know what's good. Like,
Mhm.
you decided just to sideways me on a Monday night, knowing ain't not that many people gonna be around, but me and my homies, and you caught me with my weakest link, Dom, the weak link. So you know, damn, Dom, you should have never walked off. Man, the moment you walked off is the moment she stepped right on in.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I'll give her this. I'll give kudos to Liv Morgan on this. She takes advantage of the opportunity because because let's keep it real with Liv. She's not the most powerful, strongest woman in the roster. I wouldn't guess that she was a champion, but she was a champion because she took advantage of a situation. It wasn't like she went up against somebody, the bell rung, they had a match, and then she won. No, she cashed in and managed to get the title. You understand what I'm saying? Just like with tonight, she didn't just walk up to Rhea and they two had exchanged words and then they duked it out and Liv had the upper hand. No, Liv snuck up on her when her back was turned. So I give Liv that credit that she takes advantage of the situation. That makes her, I guess, smart somewhat in terms of paying attention to the weakest time of her enemies, quote unquote, Jay. So with all of that being said, I say kudos to you. But how long does this technique, Jay, what last in terms of being a champion? Because now that you're a champion and now you already have the prize that your eyes was on, wouldn't your level of attention decrease? Because now you have all of these other eyes that are looking at you and they're about to do the same shit that you did to Rhea. So,
Mm,
like,
yeah,
am I making sense, Jay?
right. Liv is gonna be. She's she's gonna get the bad end of it because since everybody is looking a certain way, they're not gonna feel sorry for her. They don't.
Hmm.
Nobody on that women's roster really cares, and we need more to this women's roster to challenge just besides her, Becky, Nia, Tony, Shayna. We need more. We need more eyes in this division as far as for the women. So
Hmm.
I would think, like, bro, I don't care. I wouldn't care. I want to be the rat. I would want to be the rat. And it feels like there's just too many heels in Raw on the women's side. There's not too many, women you could cheer for on Raw, if you notice. Even with that, we got Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree. That's a tag team,
Hmm.
and then you got these two chicks, Carter and Chance, another set of good girls, and I think the rest of the roster is bad girl. If Becky's a good girl, but eh, probably
Yeah.
the only one as far as singles competitors.
Hmm.
Other
Ain't too
than that,
many.
it's like, nah.
Because, yeah, because it seems like they're all like angry about something. It's like someone done pissed them off and made them mad. And again, it all goes back to everybody in their own light has their own revenge tours. So Liv is not the she's not the only one. And this seems to be the season, Jay, where everybody is just like they all want to be the bad guy because the bad guy seems to be the cool one because of their reasoning for being bad or doing bad. You know,
Right.
and and in my opinion, I think Drew started that because ever since Drew started being like a real quote unquote a hole evil guy, but he had good nuggets and he had good reason. So we actually like him as a bad guy. And it seems that that seems to be the trend that's moving on, Jay. Hmm.
Yeah, it is, and we also kind of seeing it. Like I think we was talking about this one time before, and we said with the Rock being on board and everything, and the way he was talking. When he talked at that press conference, and he was already talking shit, that you could kind of sense there was a direction that they was going to be sent. I mean, a message that was going to be sent directly to the wrestlers. Like, this is the way we're going to go, the angles we're going to hit with. And you're right. Like, the first one to really respond off of this was Drew. Drew took this shit and ran. Like, I think he probably wanted this change more than anybody on the roster because he probably knew he had a bag of tricks up his sleeve to come at people. And he's definitely one of the biggest trolls in there.
Hmm.
And he fights good in the ring. The crowd still fucks with his 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 shit that he does before he does his kick. He's not one that's you could really boo a lot just because of the fact that he led us through an era where he was never thanked. So I can understand where the crowd just yays and boos him. It's a mutual thing. The same thing with Rhea.
Hmm.
They hate her when she's with Judgment Day, but they love her when she's by herself. When she grabs that mic, they cheer her. And the rest of that group talks is boo. So you hear, and
Yeah.
it's wild to see some shit like that. Like the direction. Like we've seen the maturity of a person like Rhea, and she's doing it to a way where like Seth. Seth carried that belt with prestige, that world heavyweight championship as far as men. And Rhea's doing the same thing with the women's title. Like, bro, I didn't like everybody that she was fighting along the way during the year that she held the belt. I was in awe of it, and I kept on saying like, yo, if she keeps on going the way she is, she could be one of the best ever as far as women in her generation, and then overall because she was doing the damn thing.
Hmm.
And if this injury is gonna have her out sometime, I was I would say hmm, by fall maybe she'll be back. Late summer, early fall, give or take. Since we're in April.
Yeah, I would hope. I hope summer, like in time for like SummerSlam, something like that. So that's what, like late August, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. August is SummerSlam. Yeah, late August. I will see her coming back then, or I will even see her probably coming back as soon as the new season starts. Like once the shift happens and Raw's literally taking off the air and they don't know what to do. I think
Hmm.
that's when she probably makes her return around that time. And shit, that's still even a question that's still up there in the air as to what they're gonna do later on. Have you
Yeah,
heard anything? Have you heard
I,
anything about that?
I've heard absolutely nothing yet. Absolutely nothing. I mean, there isn't too much there is in terms of options. So I don't know. We'll have to do some research and talk about that. But Jay, before we close out on this segment, I want to play this one. I would say encouraging. This is something encouraging from the Judgment Day as Rhea went backstage to meet up with her Judgment Day crew.
Rhea, we know when you come back, you're gonna make Liv regret ever messing with you. And we know when you come back, you're gonna be more badass than you are right now. Because you are Rhea Bloody Ripley. And we love you.
Make sure you guys keep Judgment Day on top. All right?
You got it, Mommy.
Look after this one.
I got this.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Man, Jay, you gotta love Damian Priest, man. Whether you like him or hate him, you gotta like his words of encouragement and the way he delivers them. It's really believable and it's quite inspiring. Like hell, I feel like I'm Rhea and I feel like I'm gonna be healed by tomorrow the way he delivered that, you know? And that's why I wanted to play that because of such the power that was delivered from him to Rhea. What do you think about that, Jay?
That's what a leader does, you know. A leader's gonna offer encouragement, and you could see how united that group is. And I'm hoping now, with that happening, I hope they don't sidetrack the group and make them break up. I kind of feel now that this group is gonna probably be a little bit even more stronger now than ever. So I wouldn't, like I was telling you one time before, I wouldn't be too surprised like if we get Finn one day, Finn trying to get a belt, because we know Finn can't be left alone in this whole picture.
Hmm.
I think Dom and JD are gonna still do something where we're gonna see Priest using him as now his henchman to fend off his battles or whatever. The same way he did to basically like when we had that fight later on in the night. We got Finn had a fight. I see Priest doing it like that, leading his way, and like he said, you could handle her when you got back, and I'm ready for it. I'm one who's gonna be ready for that comeback. And when it's time, I hope they give us some vignettes on that shit when before she comes back to scare the shit out of Liv Morgan.
Exactly. But as for now, I think we are seeing a new Judgment Day with Damian Priest as the leader. There's no more debating as to whether it's her or him because
Mhm.
she said her goodbyes for now. So that leaves him to lead. So now moving forward, I see that this is the official champion Damian Priest era of the Judgment Day. So I want to see what happens with Finn. I want to see if JD and Dirty Dom, let's see how many matches they're going to start winning. Let's see if there's any changes in general of
Mhm.
Judgment Day, which will make them stay the same, make them better, or make them worse, Jay.
Mm. I hope they're stronger. I hope they're stronger, bro. For sure.
Me too.
I,
Me
I
Speaking of strong, was
yes,
the
yeah.
first match was the first match was a welcoming party or was there something before that?
Um, Michael Cole just mentioned before they had one on commercial about Sheamus's return, and that was it. And we had got that backstage part with Rhea and then it led into the fight. And
Oh,
they were just basically talking about Sheamus as he was coming into the ring, about his
mhm.
8-month layoff. He had a bad neck issue which messed with his nerves.
Wow, 8 months.
And yeah, basically his last match was with Edge, aka Mr. Adam Copeland in AEW. Shit, time flew. Time flew with that.
Who you telling? Who you telling? So let's pause because I should have done this before. We have a message, Jay, and I'm gonna play it for us, okay? It's from our
Right.
homegirl Spotlight.
The separation. Oh, yeah. Triple J, Shane O'Mac, the Three Bells Podcast Raw Recap. Thanks, fellas, for doing your thing. Ding, ding, ding. That was weak, I know. That's okay. Anyways, what's up? What the boom? Hooray Juan. Alright. I'm going home. I got off work. Peace. But I'm listening.
Shout out to our homegirl
Yeah,
Spotlight. Thank you so
yeah.
much for tuning in and saying hi to everybody. And if you're at work, finish up work and please get home safe and sound. But it's so good to hear your voice. There's no such thing as a weak bell coming from you, boo. Come on now. You are a homegirl, never a weak bell from you. And from our guys, LaJuan. And look, it's Mr. Boom! He's here. He is here. I hope he's wide awoke. But it's good to see you, even if it's for a little while, because we understand that you live in your life and you're doing your thing. So it's okay. It's good to see all of you and everyone here tonight. As Jay and we are here. And as you know, our guy, Mr. CEO, Mr. Mundo, Mr. AKA, because you got to understand, everybody, we did how many shows, Jay? We did a total of 10 shows in 2 weeks during our Mania season. So, yeah, so it's time for all of us to take a break, but we decided that Mr. Mundo, he would take his vacation first. So he is on a well-deserved break for this week. So shout out to Mr. Mundo, Mr. CEO, Mr. Des Taker, Mr. Des, Mr. Everybody that's under that umbrella. Enjoy your vacation. Jay and we got you covered.
Yes, yes. Enjoy your world tour while we have this takeover on here. We got this. We got this. We got Mondays. We doing you good, Des. Don't worry about it. We'll see you when we see you, or we'll hear you when we hear you.
And
We
not
miss
before.
you. Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
before. But speaking of vacation, like you said, our homie Mr. Seamus has returned after an 8-month healing process. And he went against who? Who?
Hmm.
Big Ivar. Mm, mm. What a
Yeah.
match. What a match. And Jay, I don't know about you, but for me, it is always good to see Ivar in that ring because he always gives us his best each and every time. He never ever comes up short. The only time he
Facts.
came up short, if you want to call that, was last Tuesday when he showed up on NXT. That was probably like, if you even want to call it that, and I wouldn't even somewhat call it that because his promo was absolutely amazing. It was a promo that I've never seen of him before. So I really like Ivar. And of course, you gotta like to do Sheamus, right? We gotta love our homie Sheamus, Mister Couple Pounds on the little how you call it, little love handles. Did you notice that Jay had this little bicycle hand on the side there? So for Ivar to grab and do his his little moves.
I was like, yo, he looks a little bit bad. Like, bro, you came out of shape. I thought you would have been in shape being gone this long. I could see he's been working on his neck, which is where the injury happened. But
Mhm.
damn, bro, you got the stomach. What happened there, bro? He could have been a little bit more better than that. But you know what? As
Yeah.
Michael Cole said he's been there 17 years.
Mhm.
Shit, been there a long fucking time, bro. Damn,
Yeah. But it's
four
amazing,
times.
even though he put on those pounds, he still
Hmm.
has his strength because that one move with that white noise from the top rope,
Yo,
man,
that
you got to be strong.
Yo, that camera view was crazy. The overhead view.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, I was like, what? They went with this? That was fire.
That
I
was
give it to them.
that was absolutely amazing for Sheamus to do that to Ivar, because we all know that Ivar, he's one of our meaty fighters. That's the meat guy, you know. And for Sheamus to still have his power, his strength still, even though he's gained a little couple pounds, and that's okay. But it's still good to see him. But all in all, Jay, what was your thoughts on this match of this homecoming match with Sheamus versus Ivar?
I felt, since Canada was his last, match where he fought Edge, I was like, you know what? They gave him a good opponent. They didn't feed him a jobber or someone that was skinnier than him or fast. They gave him a guy that's strong, big, and has a future in the company. And most people would think like, yo, he just squashed Ivar's momentum as a singles guy. No, this only displays more from Ivar along the way, and we kind of see the transition that he's going into, and it's to being a singles competitor. And he fought a heck of a fight. I ain't gonna lie, because there was at a point in the fight where Sheamus was even yelling at him like, "Yo, hit me again! Is that all you got? Hit me!" And you could tell right there where that was a point where Ivar had the momentum. You would think Ivar was gonna win at that point when he splashed him, squashed him, squished him, everything that you want to call it. And then Sheamus out of nowhere drops his knee pads and went for his new move called the kneecap. Okay, so it was like half a bro kick. So you went with the knee and then went with the bro kick after that. Got a good win. I'll give it to you. Good return. And the thing that I caught from Michael Cole was the fact that he said the only title that Sheamus hasn't won is the IC title. So it led me to think, is that gonna be the route that they lead Sheamus through? Is to fight in everybody that's within this IC conversation. Who is Bronson Reed could be in the Bronson Reed more than likely would be next. And then after Bronson Reed probably be Sheamus. It's good. I can see what they're trying to do and build up that part of the division, and I'm okay with it. Definitely okay with this, Shane.
And don't you love the celebration when he hugged Pat and Michael?
Yo, you saw the
That
drink fly as soon as he went to them, and then he
yeah,
choked the shit out of him. Choked the shit out of
joked real hard, like, yeah, I'm back, and I'm still strong. I still got it. But but Jay, that's interesting that you mentioned that he has won every other title except the IC title. That is interesting. And maybe it's
him.
possible that this would be his chance to possibly touch it, like get his hands on it. Hmm.
No, I definitely could see that. Maybe that, like I said, he goes that route as far as trying to get his way to it. But
Mm-hmm.
do we want to see babyface versus babyface if Sammy still has the belt by the time Sheamus gets to him? Or
Right.
do you want a heel to have that belt and where the match is gonna probably be a little bit better? So this is something that we got to look forward to in the future down the line. Maybe I would say 3 to 5 months, where we start seeing him more in the picture of a title. Let him get his feet wet this next month and a half or two, and
Mm-hmm.
then put yourself in a picture for a belt. Get in a feud right now. Let's see who could really bother you, annoy
Yes.
you.
Yes.
That's what I would want to see. And I
I
wouldn't, I wouldn't be too surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be too surprised if he's auditioning for the draft in NXT. Scoops him up now that NXT is available to be drafting people. So let's keep an eye on these things also, on who's scouting who, and does he get drafted there? But last that we knew of Sheamus, that he was already on SmackDown as it is. He got presented to us in Raw, which means more than likely he was already drafted. So he might not even go nowhere. He might just stay stuck. But you never know. Some shit like that could be up in the air, where there was scouts on him type shit.
Mm-hmm. Because quick fast with
Hmm.
past droughts, it was just SmackDown and Raw, right? Like, was NXT ever in that conversation in terms of people being drafted into NXT? I understand people that was in NXT were drafted into SmackDown and Raw, but has that ever been the story where people were drafted into NXT until
No,
now?
no, this is the first time. This,
Mm.
that's what I'm
Mm.
saying. Somebody big is gonna be scooped from one of these two rosters. It's just a
You think
matter of who's who.
it's going to be just one big name, or do you think it's going to be a couple big names because
I'm
they want to make NXT? It seems like they want to make NXT an even an even tier to a SmackDown
right,
and Raw rather than the bottom.
right, right. Like
Hmm.
that's the thing that will open a lot of eyes. Like, who do they take? Do they separate a group? Do they,
Hmm.
female or male? But I would think, a lot of the female are kind of too, there's too much in NXT, so a lot of them will probably still be there. So, like one person, like I was saying last time, I was saying that maybe they'll switch Roxy with Indy and bring Indy back to NXT. Shit like that. They'll probably go for the ones that they feel deserve to be back within their company. And I could see Sheamus going to NXT just because, like, the Gallus boys that are over there. He could probably fight them one on one. He could probably get his hands on Ridge again. Avenging all that shit that Ridge did earlier on to break. To being a bad guy now. There's a lot of guys where if you look at a guy like Sheamus, he's already, like I said, he's already 17 years in the company.
Right.
So do we do that switch now, or do we just keep him and let him go for the IC title now that Michael Cole already put a bug in our ears about it? That's there's so many ways to look at this draft, bro. I'm oh
Who knows? We're in the Triple H era where there is always a plan B. We have no idea what it is. Not all the
yeah.
time, but some of the time.
Like, does NXT say, yo, we want Bianca Belair back, or wanna Oscar, or Kyrie Sane, they'll take somebody that's in a faction, break that faction up, shit like that. Like, do you take Dom full time in NXT? There's so many angles you could go with, bro.
Yeah.
And yo, speaking on that one thing that we was talking about earlier with Rhea, do
Hmm.
before that fight that she had before with Becky, she had anxiety issues prior to the fight?
Really?
That Yeah, Jason Jordan was in the back consoling her and calming her down, bro. I was like, what? He not only does he produce, but he also, he's there to speak and help. So I looked at that as, okay, you made her get them butterflies shaken off, and this was that was her biggest moment in her career as far as mania and all of that, and this guy was there for you. Shows that there's good people in this company. They're not gonna let you go out. They're not gonna let you go out there fucked up. They can let
Of
you
course.
go out there with a positive mind state, and kudos to Mr. Jordan on doing that, bro. I
Wow, that's
respect
awesome.
that.
That's awesome that he's there for that. And being that he used to be a wrestler himself, he should totally understand. I know exactly how you feel. I know what you're going through. I was right there, and know exactly what to say to what person depending on how they're feeling. Man, bless your heart, dude. Bless your heart. But you want to know what else is a blessing, Jay? These messages. We got two of them. Let's play it.
Triple J and Shane O'Mac. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, Dez, enjoy your vacation, bro. I'm making sure they running Monday Night Raw perfectly, man. Your tag team partners observing and making sure they're doing everything clear. I got you, bro.
Yeah, so don't be going to him talking no fake smack, okay? We're doing good so far. At least I think we are, Jay. You're doing good so far, Jay.
Yeah, we're handling this quite well. They ain't no mishaps or anything. We're running this pretty smooth. So far, so good.
Yeah, so far so good. We're no amateurs
The,
here. We're 2/3 of the three bells. So yeah, we got
yeah,
it.
the first 45 minutes we've been good. We've been all right.
hmm We have another message. It's from Mars. What's up,
My
Mars?
guys, Jay, Shane, what's good, man? Shout out to the three bells, man. Where's Dez at, man? Taking a vacay? Nah, big ups to y'all, man. Big ups to Dez, too. Boom, I see you, man. Grit, Lawan. Shout out to everybody, man.
Yeah, Mars. After our amazing Mania season, which consists of 10 shows in 2 weeks, decided that we was going to have some vacation time. Dad's going to have his first. And Jay and we're still figuring out as to who's going to take their vacation next. It's still up in the air. We might not take one at all because we just enjoying this so much. But right now, you got Jay and I. We're here and we're talking Raw. And Jay, what are we talking next now after this match with this victory with Sheamus? Welcome back, Sheamus, and he wins over Ivar. So let's move forward. And where are we going next, Jay?
They present us with a Sami Zayn video, and him and Gable, and you hear them talking about a friend is needed to pull him out the fray, about confidence being reborn between the two, and friendship is rewarded, the title shot, the opportunity to feel destiny between the two. So we're hearing a prelude to this fight as to who and why are the reasons we're getting fed this fight tonight. And that was cool. It wasn't bad. And this is the new era where they're gonna feed us like if as if this was a real, you know, sporting event instead of entertainment. So now that they're giving us that aspect with the video montages, it's cool. I like it. I definitely like it.
Yeah, it just gives like a different look, a different perspective, as opposed to, the usual standard that we used to get now. And this was happening before it was even officially a new era. It looked like there was just playing around with it. And I like that they have that freedom, Jay, where they can just say, let's try this and let's try that. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, we gave it, the old college try, and we'll just, we'll forget about that and just move forward and try something else. I love how they're just experimenting and letting us see it. Like they're not doing it like as a rehearsal. They're actually like doing it live. And we get to
Yeah.
see it, and we get to talk about it, and they hear us when we like something or don't like something. And then they would oblige us or they would change it accordingly. And I love that, Jay. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love that.
I do, and with each addition, there's always a subtraction, and they was already saying that if you notice by today's show, and I would say also by on Friday SmackDown as well, that they showed us that they're leaning away from the visual effects that they show of the wrestlers when they come out, like the way they would show Becky's character, and it would show her face like in a cartoon, and it would say Bex under it. You know,
Yes.
they
Yes.
said that
It's titled the augmented AI.
reality.
Yeah, yes. Yes, that little graphic thingy. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, is it needed? Like, did you like those, or is it
I
okay
I
if
like them. I like them, but I agree with what they're gonna do with it. And they're gonna leave it for the PLEs and PLEs only.
Mhm.
So, they said they was gonna gradually, slowly go away from it that way and putting it just there. I feel that's the best way to make the PLEs look different. Don't keep them similar to what the shows are when we watch them on TV. Give
Right.
us a different perspective as to what a PLE is.
Mhm.
So, if they're gonna give us an extra minute or two, throw it on there, or extra 30 seconds by throwing a little picture real quick of them. I don't mind it. And you notice they also feed us, those commercials with the wrestlers at the end. Sometimes they didn't do it tonight like that on Raw. I noticed that they didn't give us that feature.
What you mean, like the graphic of the superstar entering before the commercial break?
No, no, like when they showed a picture of the wrestler in like a cartoon way when they go in a commercial, like that little
Oh,
graphic that they showed. I didn't see that on tonight's episode. I seen it Friday for like the Kabuki Warriors, if I'm not mistaken, or someone else, but I didn't see it tonight at all for anybody.
yeah. I don't.
I
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have either. If anyone did,
if
Boom or Lawan, if anybody did see that tonight, let us know. I
if
didn't see it.
if anything if anything with today, they played with the cameras a ton tonight, a ton.
Oh, we're gonna totally talk about that. We
Oh,
we
like
that's its segment
I
because I
know
know.
how you and I know how you and Des just love talking about that shit, like those angles. But today
Mhm.
felt like one of those days where they was just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go heavy with these, and we're gonna give you different insights to everything that's there tonight." And I
Oh,
thought that was cool.
yeah, we're gonna talk real heavy about one particular going down uh going down this list here.
Hmm.
So after that, what happened? Like, did something
We
else happen before we see Adam Pierce in the ring?
we had Pat McAfee and Michael Cole were talking about Sheamus and what they did to him, what they did to them. And when the
Right.
cup, talking about the cup spilling over, and Pat was like, "Yo, Sheamus choked me out. I got choked out by a sweaty Irishman." And then you see
Right.
McAfee talking French and shit. Like, what? You're French Canadian now? I forgot, right? Is Pat Canadian or something? Because he
Yeah,
talked
because
real.
Raw tonight. Yeah, because Raw tonight was coming to us live from Montreal, Canada. So there was a whole lot of French going on, Jay.
Right, right. And I was surprised that McAfee was clean with it. You know,
Hmm.
he was kind of angry. He was like, "Damn, this shit went all, um, this guy got him all wet upon coming up to them." And
Hmm.
Michael Cole seemed all happy already by it. So I can see why Pat caught him later on in the show. He caught him back for it. He want to
Hmm.
laugh at me. I'm gonna catch you later on tonight. I
Right,
was like,
right.
oh man.
Man, I'm sure anything that happens to Pat will make Michael happy. So there's no surprise on that reaction. But
I
yeah,
just that's the thing, bro. You just love how they have that type of fun. They really are happy together.
totally. They have that freedom.
Hmm.
Can you imagine? all of that freedom, and that's why we're getting the very best of Michael that I think we have ever gotten. This is like the ultimate best Michael Cole that we gotten
Right.
in 20, what is it now, 24, 25 years of his
20,
career?
23. He's almost
23.
there. He's almost there at that bicentennial year. No, he's close
Mm-hmm.
to it.
Yeah,
He's gonna
look,
be definitely, bro. Look how long we've been watching him since
yeah,
backstage. They put him through
yeah,
hell backstage, big time.
he has come a long way. Ooh, the stories that man had. I would love to have an interview with him. The stories
I,
that man had, unbelievable.
I can
Unbelievable.
imagine when he retires. Like, is he gonna do something similar to like the Undertaker, where he's gonna just have that? He's gonna go from place to place and just talk about his life and his career being an announcer.
I
Because
would,
we don't get that aspect and that view. You know,
well, there's not too many guys that can do that, but he's one of the few that can actually do that. So I would love to
right?
see it. I would
Like,
love to.
one day he could probably bring like older people that worked with him along the way. Like, he could probably bring a Jerry Lawler, a Jim Ross. If they give him permission to do these type of talks after he
Hmm.
leaves the company. I want to see shit like that, and I want to know the perspective and the dynamics of what it was taken under the certain Vince era, the aggression era, the attitude era. I want to hear all of that of what you went through,
Right.
and with these guys growing up, what you learned from them, taking that way up, and even the time when there was a point where it felt like Cole was like a heel asking them aggressive questions back in the days, and they was sort of feeding it to us as of recently when he gets in the ring and he talks as a heel, but then we see the good guy side of him when he like goes for like Cody, and you get the finish your story, Cody, and then you see the 1, 2, 3 pin, and he's like finish your story. Like, he's gonna be remembered for so much. Like,
Hmm.
God damn it, you screwed him over. You screwed him over. Like, Cole is crazy, but he's cool as shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. We can only imagine the stories that he's going to have moving forward, especially now with so much that's going on. So it's going to be
Right.
very interesting. But you know who else has something interesting to say, Jay? Apparently, Adam
Uh-oh.
Pierce. Adam Pierce and someone else came into the ring. Who else was it? Who else was it?
It was
Who
my
else?
guy, Triple
Yeah.
H.
Mm-hmm. It was
Bro,
him. Triple
yo,
H
you heard
himself.
you heard what McAfee said, which was fire at that part.
What is that?
He was like, Triple H is terrorizing records as things of as records are being broken
Mm-hmm.
type shit. And I was like, oh, he mentioned when Triple H was WCW terrorizing. I said, oh God, Pat, why are you doing this? Bringing up nostalgic shit in your words about these guys. Like, wow, this shows me that you paid a lot of attention growing up. Besides playing football and everything, that wrestling was your shit, and you knew what you was watching. So
Mm-hmm.
I give it to him for having that eye and that quick thought to say that about Triple H. And
Right.
man, that crowd went
So let,
ape shit for Triple H.
so let me ask this question. We're talking about record breaking. Was tonight, how you call it? Was tonight the 19th or 20th consecutive sellout? Did they mention that? Like, did they mention how many people was in attendance tonight?
Um,
I
I'm not
didn't.
sure. I didn't hear it. But maybe Cole might have said, I think maybe 20,000 Canadians. You're probably in attendance tonight. Maybe 19,000.
Well,
I think it was said, but if any of you guys heard it out there, like Lawan, if you heard it, you could let us know as well if you heard that. But I definitely don't recall. You know,
oh,
oh
okay. Okay. So let's talk about Triple H and Adam Pearce because there was a reason why Triple H came out. He usually don't come out unless he has something very important to say. So there was a table, a nice little table that looks familiar, Jay. It's that table that indicates that there are new titles that is underneath the velvet cloth, the black velvet cloth. So, Triple H was going through his thing, the new era, this, that, and the third. We're doing a new. And they bring out our current. They at the moment it was called Raw Tag Team Champions. So here comes Awesome Truth. Did you notice, Jay, their graphic, the Awesome Truth graphic as they was coming out, which was so cool. I like it. It's definitely they're not separate anymore. They're a tag team. It's Awesome Truth and the Miz. Awesome
yeah,
Truth. And you got an Awesome Truth graphic. I thought it was cool. What do you think?
I liked it because they're finally being acknowledged within the company, and you could just see how the fans are embracing it, especially for R-Truth. I think for a guy of his age, it lets you know that you're never too old. It's not a young man's game. You know, like I always like guys like him,
Hmm.
and he's just happy as fuck. It's not, you can't hate, but just to love him, bro. You gotta love the man. Gotta, and this old school feel, the vibe that they're going on with this graphics, and you got your boy riding the wave with you, the one who started with you, and as the Miz stated, Truth been there longer than him, so he's been on the journey longer, waiting for his moment, and look at when the moment happened. So this was this was crazy. Like I honestly thought, and you probably saw my message in the chat. I was getting hyped thinking we was getting women's belts, bro, like Intercontinental and a U.S. heavyweight. And when I'm announced the Awesome Truth, that said, oh man, you just broke my heart. This was the perfect time to announce women's titles. But at the end, I was like, hmm. Truth is a wild mother. Truth is crazy.
So yeah, Jay, why don't you share with us why Truth was wilding out? Like what was underneath the velvet cloths?
New tag team belts. And they
Mhm.
were named, they're now called what? What, Shane? The
They're now called.
World
Mm-hmm.
World Tag Team Champions. That sounds so clean.
That's right,
It
everyone.
yeah, man. It sounds real clean as opposed to being Raw Tag Team Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Be, being known as the World Champs, now it makes you think what are the SmackDown ones gonna be? Now, it's not gonna be SmackDown World Championships. And the fact that they gave us, they put maroon or red in the belt to signify that it's still Raw. So we know as fans, it got a little bit of the Raw belt in there. And
Right.
I thought that was cool. So I'm
Right.
I'm looking at something similar Friday where we get a little bit of the blue in the belt, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a something similar to whatever Cody has if Cody decides to change it. If Cody changes it first and they give us a new belt, or they give us something similar to what Cody has now, that W. They probably give us the W.
Yeah, because it'll probably because these two titles here, it's the world, so it matches with the women's world as well
Hmm.
as the world heavyweight. They all have that same small W. So I'm guessing that the other tag team is probably going to get is probably going to be called WWE Tag Team Champions rather than Raw or SmackDown. And I said this in the chat that I like how they called it the World Tag Team. That way it can go anywhere. It don't have to just stay on Raw. It could go on SmackDown. It could go on NXT. It has that freedom now rather than be called Raw Tag Team, SmackDown Tag Team, or even say NXT Tag Team. Give it a name so that, yes, even though it's on that brand, it has that freedom to go elsewhere even if it's for a little while. It makes sense. I love that idea, Jay.
Right.
Don't you?
I think it's cool. I like the angle that they're pushing with it, and the namesakes, the titles. Since
Hmm.
it's, like they said, we're in this new era, so everything deserves a change. So I could see the one by one, the slow transition of everything that we're getting. So
Right.
we're getting these titles this week. Maybe something new next month. Every month they give us something different as to where we're like, oh man, you know, leading towards SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble. We see all the changes that's happening, and we're just left like, oh man, this shit hasn't stopped. Like the momentum, doesn't stop. And the way I thought of that's the way I think about it is like we can't stop the momentum at all. The wave got to continue, and this was a good way to have the momentum continue by giving us these new displays of titles.
And it's
And
interesting. It's so interesting how you're using this phrase momentum because look what happened as soon as Awesome Truth celebrated the new looks of their titles. Like, R Truth for some reason went on this long comedian rant or something like that. Like, I don't even know exactly what he said, but it was very long winded to a point where Triple H was just like, I gotta go. It's time to go because Triple H didn't even say anything. It was just R Truth that was for some reason going back and forth and calling Triple H something else and magic tricks, and he was just going on like this weird rant. I
he
was
was
like,
like, he was like,
I
you
was
could pull a
like,
rabbit. You could pull a rabbit out the hat. I've seen a lady get sawed in half. He was like, you're a great magician. And then Mrs. like, why are you talking to Triple H like that? He was like, that's not Triple H. That's Tommaso Ciampa.
I was like, where is all of this going? And the only thing that happened was Triple H left. Like he just left, and even Adam Pearce was like, "You see what happened? Like he left. Like
He made the boss leave.
you're right. You made the boss leave." And I was like, "What was the
He was,
point of?"
he was like, who's our boss? That was Ciampa. He's playing Houdini on us.
Oh boy, no.
Yo, Troop is
Ugh.
funny as shit. And then
But
but yo,
uh huh.
he brung up little Jimmy to Triple H. He's like, you remember little Jimmy? Remember what you did to little Jimmy? I never forget. At one time he was real.
Oh,
Bro, 20 years later, and we still talking about little Jimmy.
oh boy. 20 years, he's still little. That's a mess. That's he should be like kissing 21, but he's still little. Mm-mm-mm. But Jay, let's talk about this momentum that you use, because like we said, right after the celebration, look what happens. We
Mm.
get a triple tag team match, and the winner of this match would have the opportunity to go up against our freshly new branded World Tag Team title holders. Just like that, Jay. Just like
Yes.
that, we get this match with DIY versus the New Day versus my very quickly favorite tag team, the Creed Brothers. Jay, what is your thought on this match?
I like you seen what happened prior to the match starting though, right? You seen what
Oh,
happened, right?
ahead. Uh-oh. Do explain, Jay. What happened? What happened?
We got the we got the glitch, the Bo Dallas glitch. I didn't see what it said, but that's they gave us the QR code as a like back in the days when we was getting with Bray with these QR codes, a la
Mm,
the White Rabbit. So that shit went too quick for me to even grab my phone and press the QR code. So kudos to everybody who's seen what was on there as far as with the QR code. Lawan, if you did it and caught it, let me know what it said. Shane, did you catch it? Did you do it?
I think somebody had placed it somewhere. I think Des or somebody caught it. It's this weird, like cryptic language or something. I don't understand it. It's almost like in this Matrix Tronish type of thing. Like it's real hard to we I have to look at this. It's so weird. It's one of those weird codes that you have to like really look at, and then it'll probably say something like, welcome us home or we're coming, something like that. But yes, that glitch that you're talking about, Jay, it happened for a split second as the New Day was approaching the ring. So right before they stepped into that ring area, that's when that glitch and that QR code had flashed in the screen. I said, "Up there you go, there we go."
Because
Yes, now we go. Okay, there's nothing wrong with our TV. It's a message like that's like that's what we're doing. That's like one of the newest things from the WWE now. Whenever we see a glitch on TV, now we're thinking it's Uncle Howie talking to us. So
right.
even if it's not like a non wrestling program and there's a glitch, it's like, Uncle Howie is talking
Like
to us.
the crazy shit was that my neighbor hits me up, right? And I got him invested in what's going on with that. So he
Hmm.
was like, "Yo," he's like, "Yo, I'm running to the." He said, "Yo, I'm running to the bathroom. Let me know when the glitch. Let me know about the glitch if it happens while I go to the bathroom." So as soon as that message was sent, I said, "Bro, it just happened." He said, "No
Wow,
way." I said, "Yo, you just turned your back and it happened. This is what you get. You missed it."
wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But Jay, before you talk about the match, let's
Right.
uh let's take a mental break and let's hear some messages. We got a couple here.
Welcome
Bray!
everybody to Stereo Radio. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. We have a heel turn by Chad Gable. What a match! What a heel turn! That was freaking awesome. Rhea Ripley, heel up. One of the best women wrestlers of all time. No. The best woman wrestler of all time, Rhea Ripley, goes on the shelf with that elf, but she's not going to stay on the shelf with the elf. She's going to come back stronger than ever. I truly believe it. And The Undertaker on his podcast talking about his moment at WrestleMania. I'm good. I'm ready to move on. What a moment. That was amazing. You guys have a great good night right here on Stereo Radio.
Shout out to you, Greg, man. Awesome announcement. I was about to stop you because it almost sounded like you was going to summarize the entire Raw episode when you spoke about Chad Gable. Jay, I had my finger right here. I was about to stop him and then say, you know what, Jay, let's play Greg at the end, towards the end of the show, because it sounded like he's going to summarize, but he did it perfectly. So thank you so much, Greg. Good to see. And of course, it's always good to hear from you. Thank you so much for that opening. Dez is going to hate the fact that he missed that. He is a huge fan of the openings, Greg.
He's
Up.
gonna hear. He's gonna be like, "Oh shit."
Mm-hmm. We definitely need to figure out a way to save that for Dez, Jay. But we got some more messages for Lawan. For Lawan says,
Before R-Truth and The Miz came out, I was hoping they were mid-card women titles, man. But trust the process, man. I feel like it'll come up soon than later. Trust in the process.
yeah, that's what you said, Jay. You thought he was going to have women's titles, but I'm guessing in good time, in
Good
due time.
time.
Yeah, in good time. Lawan
So
also
yeah,
said,
there was a QR code, and the QR code had two different things on it. One was a URL. Going to a website, if you click the URL, you'll get a video and a picture.
that was the
And the
other
other
one.
code says you didn't want us, meaning more than one person is coming back.
And that is going to be part of our. Let me see if I got this right, Jay. That is going to be part of our rumors, reactions, and hot takes, Jay. So remember what Lawan just said, and he
And
also
it's
said,
already showing on Twitter that Eric Rowan will be talking about his contract, man. So hopefully he will be getting signed soon, which he is. He's probably already signed already. And it looked like we're going to be getting a fraction between Bo Dallas, maybe Alexa Bliss, um, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. That does good for all the other fractions that's possibly out there with the Bloodline, um, Bobby Lashley and friends. Maybe we get some more fractions in the future, but yeah, even Judgment Day.
"Mm-hmm, should be very interesting." And like I said, we're going to talk about that as with our rumors. So Jay, hit it. DIY versus the New Day versus the Creed brothers. What had happened, man?
Ooh. In the beginning of that match, shit, they was all throwing blows at each other in the middle of the ring. Ciampa, Kofi, and Julius. And I was just like, damn, yo, they, like really, they got to stop. And then, we see a Trouble in Paradise get blocked, and then we see Ciampa doing some wild shit. Gargano comes with a kick. Then DIY with the double kick. They drop Kingston. Then the New Day Famouser combo that they did was crazy. I said, oh, they brought back some old shit. That was cool, but it was nice. And then the fact that Julius Creed was doing German suplexes to everybody that was coming by him, and then him and his bro takes everybody at one time and just pins them all. Like they pinned three guys at one time. I see why you like them, Shane. I definitely see like why. And you know, even like the fact that Son missed the Brutus Bowl, and then DIY came with that smash kick to win. I said, "Oh God, that was a really good tag team match." And every team, every team in that match fought good. The New Day fought good, and you know it's a good way, like, for DIY to get their opportunity again. Hopefully, we know they're not gonna win, but we got two babyface teams, two teams that like each other and that are friends. Let's see who the crowd goes for. Who's the babyface?
Hmm. I was kind of rooting for the Creed brothers because, you know, not to take away from the New Day, they're great. DIY, they're great. But there's just something different and special about these guys. This is the fact that they have wrestling. They have this amazing wrestling history behind them, and they're bringing this history with them, and it's part of who they are. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this is what we can do. This is who we are. This is where we came from. And it's like WWE said, okay, let's use that. Triple H said, yeah, let's use that. Use that, do this and do that, make that your own, and just go with it. And I like that. Like, these guys are really special to me. And I see them definitely competing in more title matches. I would love to see them do more title matches. I think we're going to see something even bigger and more grand than what we've seen tonight. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want to see the Creed brothers go against an actual tag team champions rather than to do a tournament or do a three-way in order to get that spot. I want them to have that spot, and then I want to see them give even more than all of this more that they're already giving Jay.
Right, right. Like, I would, like, what I would like to see in the tag team division is just, instead of the triple threats, give us just more tag team matches. Like, if you're gonna give us like one tag team match per hour. I'll be fine with that, and where every tag team is able to get displayed separately instead of having three, and then we as fans we got to be focused on 6 men instead of opposed to four. If we're gonna do these type of triple threats and fatal four ways or whatever, if they're going in a way with that reality thing, do it the same way within the tag team division. Only make those type of matches for PLEs, triple threats, fatal four ways, ladder matches. Leave it for that. Feed us the division. Let us get used to the division and of the wrestlers that are there, such as the Creed brothers, because then it'll give them time.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see their development, and we need to see if, like, what not Santos, but like, see if Ray's son and JD could probably gain momentum as a tag team, or we could start seeing more fresh faces as tag teams competing to get to the tag team titles. Even though Miz and R Truth should be fighting other teams regardless of the fact at the same time, but they don't have to defend their belts. Give these teams opportunities, as like most tag teams will do. A number, if you beat us, you earn a future opportunity. So you leave that tossed into the future, but you would still have to compete against other tag teams to still get your shot. You know?
Right, right. But aren't these, triple threat in these four ways, isn't that like an opportunity for more than just, your average tag team versus tag team match? You have not just two tag teams, but you have three. You have
Right.
four. You have six that could come in and use up this time to play. Because if we don't have this match, then there's a chance that someone like, the Creed brothers, we won't see them. Or maybe the New Day, we won't see them because we're so focused on teams like, you know, DIY or NCR. because these are the tag teams and the factions that has the stories. So we understand that we see them. What about these other guys? When do we get to see them? Yeah, let's give them like 8 to 10 minutes so they can have like a triple threat or a four-way or a six-man. Just so that we can at least see them, so they at least get their feet wet. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, on that. But I'm just saying from a wrestler's point of view that has a passion for this, that just want to go out there and they want to go out there and do their thing. You want to go out and play too, And I'd rather have this than sitting there catering or waiting, a whole 3 weeks to like a month before I get to step in the ring. If you could say that I'm part of a four-way or a three-way come next week, I'll take that any day, any day, all day, rather than to wait for a single, 2-on-2. I mean,
True, true.
that's just my thing, especially now with so many, people coming back and all of this, just craziness of people going here and there. So it's a lot going on, which is awesome for us as wrestling fans because it's just feeding us so much, and we just want to tune in and see what happens next time, see what happens tomorrow, see what happens Friday, see what happens next Monday. I love it. I love it, dude. But you know who's not loving it? Unless I'm
Ooh,
jumping
ooh, ooh,
backstage. Who? Drew
ooh.
McIntyre. Remember they showed this footage of Drew McIntyre and how he won the title and then he lost the title, and the whole time he was looking at it on a monitor, a playback monitor. And what's her name? Is it Kathy Kelly? She's our homegirl that does all the interviews backstage. She was standing there and she was about to ask Drew a question, but he kicks the monitor and he storms away. He's just leaving poor Kathy standing there like, okay, Drew is mad. Back to you guys at the ringside. So again, Drew is reminded as to how he flipped the bag and he's throwing a temper tantrum. Again, Jay, usually I am on Drew's side, but Drew, you have to admit this is your fault. It's not Damian Priest's fault. It's not CM Punk's fault. It's your fault. You had the title. You won. You stood there in the ring. You held the title. You went out and you celebrated with your wife. You won. Go in the back, celebrate, have a good time, take a shower, wash your ass, and then come out and join your family and go out to like the country buffet or whatever, and just eat, drink, and be merry. But no, we saw what happened. And that was all Drew's decision, Jay. He decided to do all that. And he paid for it by no longer being the champ. So what does he do? He goes back in the ring. He wants to bitch and complain. He wants to talk bad about the people in the audience. And then he's looking at this footage and it's not edited to make him look bad. It's telling the truth as to what he did. And now you want to break property because Jade, him breaking that monitor is coming out of his paycheck. So yeah, you definitely get that. Like, yeah, you think you're just going to kick furniture around, break it, and we're not going to do anything about it? We're not going to say, hey, who broke this TV? Play that beautiful beam footage right there. You'll see exactly who broke it. That's coming out your paycheck.
That was a
So
huge
I
ass
mean,
TV.
it
That
was a
wasn't no
big.
little TV. That wasn't no little TV.
Yeah, it was a big ass TV, which I guess made him even more angry because it was so big. It was. I think it would probably be not as up if it was a little TV, but it was a big ass high def television that saw him lose like that.
It's not your. It wasn't your normal TV that they feed us when they give us anything like that in the back. That's from the
Mm,
past. This one was a
right.
night. This shit was like a 45 to 50 inch. He kicked this shit in.
Yeah, that's that new era TV. That's what those are. Those are Triple H's exclusive new era televisions. Yeah, and I think that's what made it hurt more. So we have another match, Jay. But did something happen before this match with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile?
I didn't. I don't know if there was anything prior to that match because I went and got something to drink. So if I did miss anything prior to that match, I'll be clueless. But with that
Okay.
match, but with that match itself, woo wee, woo wee, jeez, jeez,
Did
jeez,
did
jeez.
did you see it?
Well,
Did you see this match and who won and how they won? Very interesting, by the way.
yes, yes. Like, that's why I'm just like, when I'm saying, then like, damn, Maxine. Oof, oof. I put G's on my paper. Oh, when I seen her, like, yo, she impressed me tonight, big time.
Really?
She did a thing in the ring, bro. Surprised the shit out of me. The DDT, the crossbody, the perfect plex. I said, what? You got some offense, girl. You showing us something. You making it believe. You making things believable as far as the type of wrestler that you are.
I
And
mean,
you
you
know,
can you her? I mean, look who her tag partner was. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at her strength. In Ivy, and that little package of hers, of how strong she is.
right.
I would argue and say that Ivy is stronger than Maxine. So Maxine has quite a bit to prove versus her strength. So I can see Ivy bringing the best out of Maxine, and I think that's what we got tonight. Is it fair to say that this was one of her best matches thus far,
I would
Maxine?
think this is her. I would think this is the best I've ever seen her.
Mm, mm,
Bro, I did not expect those two moves. That perfect plex looked clean,
mm-hmm,
and the fact
mm-hmm.
that she did that little tilt the world DDT. Oh, that shit even when she hit it, it looked hard. It made who she is believable. So
Right.
I was like, okay, Miss Maxine, no, don't stop now. Okay, keep it up. So
However, uh,
however,
however,
hmm hmm go
however,
ahead.
somebody finally woke up because they've been sleeping for quite some time. So she finally woke up and did something. So let me see if I get these names right. So Indy
Hmm.
did like this kick to Maxine. So when Maxine was down, Indy grabbed Candace and put her over Maxine so that she could get the 3 count. As soon as she did that, she runs over towards the other side of the ring to grab Ivy to stop Ivy from stopping the 3 count. That was like the smartest thing that I have seen Indy do in a long time in this Raw ring. And even the announcer says she finally got it. She finally did something. Because here we go. 1, 2, 3. Indy and Candace, they get they win. About time, Jay. Don't you say it's about time that Indy does something rather than just stand there and go, should I do it? I'm not sure if I should do it. Maybe, but I'm going to be a good girl and just stand right here and play by the rules. Nope. she did a Candace move and did what it takes for the team to win. So
Right.
congratulations to Indy and to Candace for their win. Right,
That's what I
Jay?
put on my paper. That's what I put on my paper. I put finally. You took what took you? So we're finally gonna see where now this leads to. Does Indy continue following? Is the whole
Mm.
thing.
And,
I would think. What would you think?
mhm. um, I mean, it's a good start. Even though before this match even started, Candace left Indy hanging.
Mm,
Remember, they stepped out and Indy was reaching for a high five, and Candace just walked away. I don't know if Candace actually saw her hand. Like, I kind of looked back at it, and it kind of looks like she didn't see her hand up there. So that's why she didn't give her the high five. But like I
mm,
said, that was small compared to the awesome job that she did tonight for them to win. So I say kudos to you. To you finally got your win. She finally gets it, and I hope she continues to do that, to do what it takes for you to win, because that's the point. You understand what I'm saying? If you can
yeah.
do it, do it. If you see that something needs to be done, do it so that you and your tag team can win. It's all about winning, Andy. So
Right,
yeah.
because right because we was sitting here last week complaining about her. Well, we all I had my rant on her because you know they fucked her over. They've been fucked over,
Hmm.
and I was sitting here during this match and thinking like, yo, is the curse with her finally over? Like, is she gonna see a winning streak now, as to where now maybe we can actually start seeing her wrestling skills? But it still was like we didn't get nothing from her tonight. I don't, besides that little kick, I didn't see a lot of offense. It's still her, her moves still need a lot of polishing.
Well, maybe
So
maybe we'll get more from her.
Candice
After
is leading. Candice is definitely leading this.
yes, yes, but but tonight shows that Indy does have the ability to do more.
Hmm
She just has to be pushed to do it. I don't know what made her do what she did tonight, but she needs to keep that in her arsenal. Don't go
Yeah.
back to last week's indie and the weeks before, because those indies wasn't working. But this indie tonight, because this is something special that we witnessed tonight, Jay. We saw something different, and it was good. So keep this going, indie, and you're gonna see more wins. And who knows what else we could possibly see? Who knows what else, Jay?
Right. Maybe they'll be in line for a tag team title shot. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
speaking of champions, we got us a
Ooh,
secure little video package of our current uh world. How do you pronounce it? World heavyweight champion Damian Priest. Is that how you
yeah.
say it?
Yes,
Seems
sir.
like more and more titles, more and more new titles that I have to get used to. So we saw this real nice package of him from when he first started, and gradually moving up to where he is today. I mean, ain't much to talk about with the package, because if you're a Damian Priest fan, you know what's going on. And if you wasn't,
Right.
and you saw this video, you got a better idea and a better appreciation. And you say, congratulations to our current champion, Damian Priest. 50
The,
years. 50.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. 50 fucking years. Hell yeah. Like, the only thing I was mad that they didn't show was the little part when he first came up and he was a security guard. I was surprised they didn't play that part. because he was at one time, like I think I told you in the chat one time, that he was Stephanie's security guard,
Mm.
and yeah, and he had no place to live. He was, basically he was living in and out of cars or whatever.
He,
He
I
was
think,
basically homeless.
yeah, he said that somewhere. He mentioned that, and he also mentioned that that he's from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx, New York. Holla! Shout
Yeah.
out to the Bronx. Nope, that is not it. I'm not sleeping on the Bronx. Ah, damn. I hope I don't get no phone call from the Bronx. No, but shout out to the Bronx and giving us Damian Priest, our current champion.
Oh,
Terrible.
yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, shit.
What
Oh,
happened
shit.
after that, Jay? You remember what happened
After
after that video package?
after that,
Mm-hmm.
we got Priest, talking in the back with the group, and he's basically he's giving orders to go handle Andrade, give him a lesson as far as with Dom, and he's telling Balor, Balor asks him a question, and he was like, I think, like, what was it? What are you gonna do about the title defense or whatever? And Priest was like, well, you're gonna fight him. You're gonna soften him up. You understand? He just gave him real strong words, and I'm like, yo, Balor, are you gonna stick up for yourself, or are you gonna just be like, okay, I'm fine with it? But you seem to be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what angle Priest is trying to push with him. And remember what they said not too long ago, also that the IC title needed to belong in Judgment Day. So I wouldn't be too surprised if, even down the line, he tries to continue going for it while Priest holds the big boy belt. I don't want
Mm.
to, if they're gonna go on a route where they're gonna keep the group intact until Rhea comes back, because they was at one time and kind of showing us, like Dom was about to looks like he was about to split this shit up. So
Right.
it seems like they handled their business already. I guess sided with whoever, and they moved on because you don't even see them really trying to bring. They're not gonna really push that. I don't think anymore since that was. I guess that was just that one off that they had that situation. But I don't see the Andrade thing, stopping from here. I think we could eventually get more down the line as far as when these matches go. But Shane, it leads us into the Andrade versus Dom match with your boy JD McDonough by his side. What were your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts on this? But wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yes.
We had Jackie in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking with Chad. But Shane, with the position of this interview, why didn't this interview come on prior to the tag team match, that triple threat? That shit felt weird, bro.
Well, you got to understand that this wasn't a live interview. It was a taped interview earlier before Raw even
Mhm.
started because they was
Right.
they was training in an empty arena. So Chad was training with the Creed brothers
Hmm.
for him to prepare himself for his match that he had later on tonight. So that's what that was. And yeah, I don't know why they showed it here. I guess the timing, I guess. I don't know how they decide to show, these video packages when, but that was obviously a video package, I guess, to amp us up about that, coming match. But it basically told me, that he's training with the Creed brothers, and they're good. They teaching him not only the wrestling that they do there WWE, but the um What is that? What is that? What is the name of that form of wrestling when they're in the circle?
Greco-Roman
Yeah,
type shit.
yeah, yeah. These are Greco-Roman wrestlers, which is like these are the best type of wrestlers that you could bring into the WWE. It happened with them. It happened with Kurt Angle. It happened with um, this Jordan dude. What's his name? Jason Jordan, I think. I think he
Yes.
was in the same boat. Yeah, and
Yo,
Mark Henry, being that he was like in the Olympics, and so like a power lifter, and he was able to bring that aura, that personality, that skill set into the WWE, and I think it's awesome.
but
So,
you know what's the crazy thing? Why didn't they have Otis working out with him? His Alpha Academy peoples. Like that was weird. You know that they, you know that he went that route for it,
what
and
have the Creed brothers?
yeah, that he was working out with them. I thought maybe he would be working out with his group, you know, the Alpha Academy, but
Mm-mm.
it looks like that little thing is probably over and dead with, as far as being by their side,
I
or
mean,
them just possibly working out.
if you was Chad and you was working out for a title, like you're working out for a title match against Sami Zayn, would you want to be
Mm.
trained alongside Alpha Academy or Greco Roman wrestlers, the Creed brothers?
Right, right,
That's
right.
how because that's how he said it. Like he really like emphasized that he was like training with the Creed brothers. Like really emphasize that. So
And
to me, hmm?
you heard what they fed us, right? With Chad Gable, what they said, what he, I think either he or Michael Cole said after that interview ended,
What he said.
when, about him being from Minnesota. I think Chad said that maybe he was like me being from Minnesota and such and such. And the first thing that keeps on popping into my head, Shane, is the fact that WrestleMania 41 is going to be in Minnesota next year. Someone's going to win a fucking championship next year. Someone's
Wait a
having
minute.
their Mania moment in
Just,
in
just
Minnesota.
a minute. This is common knowledge that Mania
No,
41 is in.
no, but that's been the rumored hotspot. They haven't
Oh,
announced it, but it's rumored like 95%. Like they're getting it.
oh, really?
Vegas was trying, but from what I've been hearing is the rumblings of Minnesota. So to hear Chad Gable bring up where he's from, it led me to think like, oh shit, he's gonna have his Mania moment in a year. So they gotta build his character differently as he gets onto his journey leading to Mania next year. So we gotta be aware of him and his startup now towards that. I'm keeping close eye with a guy like him now, for sure.
Hmm, for sure. Yeah. All right. So now that that tape is finished playing, we're back in the ring with
Right.
Andrade and Mr. Dirty Dom. I mean, yeah, it was an okay match. They had this one move where there was like on the other side of the rope and did like this flip thingy. I don't know what it's called. It was like, but it looks so damn cool. You know what part I'm talking about? They were standing. They were
When
both
Dom
standing.
did when Dom did the Canadian Destroyer outside the ring,
Is that what it's
oh
called? Like it's like they both flipped
yes,
and
yes,
yeah, that's what that's called.
they basically did a Canada move in Canada.
Mhm.
That was so fire. 'Cause I wrote it down first as Destroyer, but then you heard Pat McAfee was like, They just did a Canadian destroyer in Canada. I was like, oh, that shit was dope as fuck. Definitely, like Dom. See this, but this is what we want to see out of Dom when he fights, though. We want to
Mhm.
see that extra move or two that you've been missing. So now that you've added a move like this to your arsenal, woo, woo, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I just can't wait till his babyface turn and see how he's well loved and appreciated after that. I'm waiting for that day.
You waiting for the day to see Dom the baby?
Yo, Dom the baby is gonna win everybody over. Watch. I have that feeling. He's gonna be on his Eddie shit for a while. He's on his
Hmm.
he's on his true heel shit. But I definitely could see that, the car riding with the bopping and shit with him, acting cool, machismo, Latino heat. He's gonna probably embrace that shit
As a
as a
baby.
as a baby. Yes, he's gonna be different. He's gonna do the Eddie shit, like throwing the chair and falling on the floor to lie, cheat, his steal his way to wins, and the crowd's gonna love it because he's gonna have a different way every time.
So he's gonna take the moves and the aura of a bad guy as a baby face.
Right. I think you can see that happening because the fans were liking it when Eddie was doing it back then because Eddie
Hmm.
used to play that. Eddie used to play the hell out that shit when he would just toss the chair to the other competitor. He'll fall on the floor and the referee's like, "Oh shit, you're
Hmm.
disqualified. You lose the match. You're done." Eddie retains the IC title. That shit used to be crazy back then.
Okay. Okay.
Look,
I'm just making sure that I understand what you're saying. I'm not going against you because you've been predicting quite a bit of good stuff so far. So I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying. But Jay, before Don becomes the baby, he
right.
is that bad guy along with his little homie JD. Because after Andrade wins, what did these two little knuckleheads do? They jump Andrade. Damian Priest comes out and he's like standing there. And right, am I getting this right? No, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry. No, they they jump Andrade, right? And
Yes.
Finn doesn't Balor come out and jumps him
Yes.
also?
Right.
Okay, so then it's the three of them. There's jumping him and kicking him. So they're like, who's gonna come out and help this guy? Is it gonna be, is it gonna be Ray? Is it gonna be anybody from, what is that? LWO? Is that the team that helped
Yes.
him out? That yeah. I'm thinking it's one of those guys, but no. No, Jay. Who the
Pretty,
hell
pretty,
was it
pretty
that came?
Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty, pretty, pretty Ricky.
Mr. Leapin' Lenny himself, Ricochet, comes out to help him out. And they clean
Yo.
house and they stand it. Yeah.
And
Yeah, folk. W.
Andrade
Yeah.
looked at him weird.
There it was like he appreciated the help, but was like, where is
You?
this coming? Yeah, like this is such a very arbitrary, appearance, you know. But then again, I guess Ricochet he does have some static with Don and JD because remember he had single matches with them as well back to back, and didn't he win both of those if we do recall?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. So I guess in that sense, that's why they brought out Ricochet number one and number two. Ricochet's hot right now, so this is a good way for him to come out and say hi to us because there
Did you
was
yo?
no.
Did
Hmm.
you hear what Pat McAfee called Dom during the match?
No, what do you call him?
He called Dom a cockroach but then he said he's more comparable to a bed bug that never dies. I said, the fuck you know about bed bugs, bro? The fuck? No
Why?
way.
Why would you even use that as a reference? Like that's nasty. And there's no, you can't compliment a cockroach. You think it's a compliment because it don't die? Like, no, it's a cockroach, regardless of it dying or not. That's horrible. I would never
Yeah,
want anybody to call me a cockroach.
like McAfee was on one. Like he was like you could tell certain episodes outright when he's delivering, you could tell he's on fire. But there's certain
Hmm.
weeks where he's a little bit less calmer. Like tonight, he was on one. Everything that
But
came out his mouth tonight was crazy. I couldn't stop cracking up even later on at the night, towards the end of the night, the way he was going. So with with this, with the way he acted towards this match, shit. I could see that match being next week with Andrade and Ricky, a new tag team being formed, possibly right in our very eyes. You never know.
wait, who? Say it again. Who's fighting next week?
No, I'm saying I'm possibly thinking that maybe we'll get Ricky and Andrade tag teaming next Friday. I mean next Monday against
Oh,
against these two.
okay.
I know it wasn't announced, but just the gut feeling of the way it ended, something got to happen. They got to either fight next week or the week after. Uh, you know, I'm thinking, are they showing us maybe a new tag team on the horizon with those two as well?
No,
Or, like,
because I asked that, Jay, because I think there is a tag match with them next week. I'm
okay,
sorry, everybody, and I was looking right at it, but I was doing something on my computer, and they did announce three matches for next week, and I think that was one of them with Andrade, Ricochet versus Dirty Dom and JD.
okay.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what I saw.
You, know,
I hope so.
you want to hear some weird shit I was watching yesterday? I was watching Up, Up, Down, Down episode, and JD was playing basketball. The little pop and shot shits that they have with the basketball moving.
Hmm.
He was playing against Priest, and Priest was thinking he was all nice, getting like 50 points in it. So JD's like, please, bro, I'm gonna wax you. So my neighbor's like, yo, JD's probably trash. He ain't shit. Here comes JD, shot after shot, clank, clank, going in, going in. I'm like, oh, JD had 102 points, doubled what Priest put, because Priest was already talking shit like, yeah, us tall guys, we could get to the rim easier, so we got an easier shot to get. And he was like, yeah, okay, okay, I'm gonna beat that ass and beat him. 'Cause, sometimes I do catch myself watching Up, Up, Down, Down here and there. So like I watch it when they do have the video game matchups, because I find that shit fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up to you since we already just got these two on. Just talking about them two. Might as well, like, I'll just throw my little flash of my titties real quick.
Nice little tidbit courtesy of NXT's Triple J. You're gonna have some. You better have some more tomorrow. We haven't had any in a while, on
I
NXT.
know, I know. I ain't
Isn't
get, I ain't been having my Jerry beats, bro.
Ugh.
Damn.
Ugh.
I I think,
Eh.
yeah. When Dez plays that Jerry, I think he should use that for my tidbit, because then I can flash.
Show your Your big old tibbies. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that
Ah.
works.
Well, come along, Jay. Let's go backstage for a minute, Jay.
Right.
We're gonna go backstage, Jay, for who we see. We see Jay Uso and Kelly. Kelly's back there with Jay, and they're basically talking about what happened with Jimmy and the bloodline from Friday. So let's hear what he has to say.
You know, messing with the bloodline over there, you're going down a deep, dark, dangerous road. I mean, they added members over there we don't even know about. As far as Jimmy go, and I told him to come with me. But look, I need to concentrate on Finn Balor tonight. Finn Balor about to catch his deep down on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Cap.
Mm. That was very telling, Jay, what he just said. I told
Mm-hmm.
him to come with me. That, yeah, yeah. What did that tell you, Jay?
It tells me that Jimmy didn't listen to him when he told him the first time. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "You're my brother. I love you, but come with me, bro. Like this ain't it for you. The bloodline ain't it for you." And now
Right.
look, you're receiving the short end of the stick the way he did when he was with Roman, except it's the baby brother, like the last one to come out, terrorizing. Like, like, I think this is a wake up call and a bat signal to Jimmy. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe Jimmy responds by maybe coming next week and saying, "Yo, bro, I heard what you said. Maybe I gotta come back and be with you." And Jay's gonna probably like push him to the side, like, "Nah, bro, I'm main event right now. You ain't gonna stop my main event flow." You know, I hope Jay doesn't stop it. I mean, Jimmy don't stop his momentum when he goes for this world title, world championship, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's destroyed him so many times with it that do you think this is he fucks him over again, or does he try to help him win? Like, bro,
Well,
there's a lot to think of with what's happening as far as like you said. Jay said what he said tonight.
mm-hmm.
The bug is out there.
Well, first and foremost, I totally don't see I don't see Jimmy after he's healed coming to Raw just to fuck Jay over again. I think Jimmy did that because he was told to do that. But I think in his heart and hearts that of course he still loves his brother as do Jay still loves Jimmy. The love is still there. We saw it in their Mania match where it wasn't as fist to fist, pound for pound of a match as we wanted to be because there was so much emotion in it. Because it's like, yo, you're my brother, and I love you, and I still love you, but I got to do this, I got to do that. It was very conflicting. So we got what we got. So I think moving forward that Jay should keep his momentum going, and Jimmy, if we know Jimmy, he's gonna find his revenge on Solo and newcomer. How you pronounce his name? Toma. Toma.
Tama.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's coming for their asses before he steps foot in Raw. Jimmy has unfinished business to do before he thinks about stepping to Jay. So that is what I'm looking forward to seeing starting this Friday. That's what I'm
Right,
looking for.
because yo, that shit had the world buzzing the whole weekend with that shit.
Mhm.
Like the questions I saw online was like, did The Rock call this shot? Did Solo call this shot? Who called this shot?
Somebody
It
called it.
wasn't it. It wasn't Roman. Because
you sure?
when Solo went and squashed that cell phone, we knew it wasn't him. So it's one of the two. Who called the shot?
This should
Mm,
be interesting moving forward. And
mhm,
and and it just seems like Jay basically said, when you done with your business, you know where you could come. That's that's what I got from that. Handle your business, and then you come over here. Because I
mhm.
know that if you come over here about that time, when you come here, you're coming here with a different mindset and a different purpose. You're not coming here with a purpose to stop me for doing something that has something to do with the bloodline or have any
Right.
type of possibilities of dealing with the bloodline. I'm not dealing with
And
them.
you know what's another thing that's crazy? What fans said that Solo should do is,
Mm.
do you remember the time back in the days when Rikishi drove the car and I think he ran over Stone Cold, if I'm not mistaken, and
They,
his specific words were, "I did it for The Rock."
right.
If Solo comes out and says that shit, bro, I'll be like, yo, like the fans are thinking this shit. And when I saw that post, I said, oh, that would be a wild scenario to see.
Hmm.
Solo saying, repeating his father's line.
Mm.
What?
Oh, we just see they got us here hanging on the cliff, man. Just waiting. And I love it. We wait on the cliff. But
Right,
let's get
right.
off of this cliff. Let's get into the ring. We have a women's tag team match, Jay. We have
Ooh.
Chelsea Green with her homegirl Piper Nivens versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. These are former women's tag teamers. They're going in there in the ring just to get their feet wet and just to play a little bit. So, Jay, what did you get out of this match?
Ugh. What I got from it was, I don't like the fact that they're making my girls lose. I like Carter and Chance. I like everything that they do in the ring, and I feel that they're major players in the tag team division because when they finally found a niche with these two, it was by plugging them this way. And their last couple of fights have been L's. I've seen 3 consecutive losses from these girls, and
Hmm.
that's not a good thing, especially if you're trying to bring them up into being in these ranks. Because what we've seen from Chelsea Green the past week and a half, like damn, I said it the other night too, and I think like Boom was like, "Yo, save Chelsea for Raw," because we're like, "Yo, we got fed Chelsea. This is the third time in a week we got fed Chelsea Green." So I'm like, nah, they really fucking won. No way. You just really gave these two momentum. Like
Hmm.
I understand Chelsea Green you know, gotta win once in a blue, but tonight, damn. So basically, she was on the short end of getting her ass beat by Jade Cargill, and this is her reward for that ass beating, more or less, by winning tonight.
As
Hmm.
opposed to what? Beating Jade?
Right. This was her their thank you for taking these bumps last week against Jade.
Sure. I totally believe that. Oh, yeah. And it wasn't just once, it was twice. It was two bumps. Two bumps on the same week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two bumps on the same week. Yeah, let's give you some former tag teamers. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
and you know,
got a fair win. Yeah.
right. No cheating, none of that. Nice little, jump move by Piper, flying and like that crossbody to drop old girl, and this chick gets the pin. That was a good one. I I was like, I thought to myself like maybe these two chicks were gonna cheat their way to winning this match, but no, no, this is good. I respect their win, but I'm just like, damn, why it had to be my little girl, these little chicks. Like I've been like honestly, I've been watching these chicks since they first got into like wrestling. So that's the way that's why I feel the way I do about these two because with the light skin, I get both of them confused. So I know Carter's the black girl, and
Mhm.
Chance is the gymnast, the white girl. So I noticed where I followed her when she was on American Ninja Warrior, bro. She
Man,
she did she did her thing on that show. The same way Ivy Nile was found on that show with The Rock that The Rock had on Channel 4 at one time. That strong shit that they had. That's where we found Ivy Nile.
okay. I vaguely remember that show. I don't know, but I kind of know what you're talking about. I could see her face and see the Rock's face on there, but I don't remember the name.
Man, that was a quick one season show and that was it.
Mm,
But I remember her from that show and Chance from American Ninja Warrior. And
nice.
when she got into wrestling, they was feeding her to us as a gymnast that had bouncy moves. And with Carter was a singles competitor, and bro, she was the jobber for the women's
Hmm.
division for like a good year and a half. If you needed a win, Carter was the girl to go beat, more or less. So to see the growth of both, bro, I'm just like, damn, they won titles, and then now this streak is just like, oh, I hope they move them to SmackDown. I hope, but Raw doesn't really have nothing, so might as well like just keep them. Don't ever split those two up at all.
Well, the draft. Who knows? We've seen some good tag teams get split. Don't forget that infamous meme from Big E. Remember that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
No,
So
yo, talking about that, you seen them little things that went on this weekend with Big E?
we're gonna talk about that during our rumors. As a matter of fact, let's do
Get into
this.
it.
I'm gonna play this quick message. I'm
Hmm.
gonna say hello, and then we're gonna hit some rumors.
Yeah,
One.
there are reports saying that WrestleMania 41 will be in Minnesota, being the fact that it wasn't able to get Vegas.
Hmm,
It's looking like it will be Minnesota. I don't know how the hell that's going to work because in Minnesota it is very cold out there. So if they're going to be wrestling outside, I don't know how they're going to do that.
we saw how
No,
they wrestled day one,
no,
and
they're not going outdoors. They're not doing it outdoors. This is gonna be in the Viking Stadium, that dome that they got, the retractable dome. They're not doing it
uh,
at Twins. They're not doing it at Target Field, where the Twins play
oh,
at. They're going where the Vikings play, at football stadium.
okay, okay, cool. That'll be better. You know what else is better? For me to give a shout out to our homie Drew. We see you, Drew. What's going on, man? How's everything? Hope all is good. Hope all is well. And please, dude, don't leave a message talking about you cooking something. And yeah, it's okay. We just let us know that you are all right. And we appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Hey,
All right. So
Drew, what's good, Drew? What's good, Drew?
funny man, Drew. So let's
Mm,
let's take a break from Raw because this is how Mr. Mundo does it, right? Like in the middle of the show, he'll throw in some rumors and hot takes.
hmm.
So I have a couple here, a couple of well, I guess this is a reaction. This is a reaction I want to get from you after I say this. So the question is bloodline joining or bloodline creating? We're talking about Jacob Fatu. So, Jay, apparently on Sunday, April 7th, it is reported that Fatu has been signed a deal with the WWE. He was trained by his uncle, Rakishi. And the reason why I say bloodline created is because Fatu is 31 years old, Jay, and he has 7 kids. 7 kids, Jay. So,
Jeez.
again, is he joining the bloodline or is he creating one?
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Trust me,
Damn.
one thing about the Anoa'i family, the Anoa'i's and the Fatus, man, that bloodline is strong.
And you said Jacob is the nephew to Rikishi.
Correct. He is Rikishi's nephew.
You know what's the crazy thing? Me and my neighbor was looking into more on Jacob and like you know in relation to who his father was and Rikishi's twin brother Sam Fatu, I think, was the one was I guess basically the father to Jacob. I never knew Rikishi was a twin. I forgot that he was a part of a tag team. And the way I found out who it was, we was watching WrestleMania 13, and um Jimmy Snuka was on the side of Sam Fatu, and he was fighting Roddy Piper. That's how we went. That's how back we went into finding out who was Jacob's father. And when they showed the face up close in person, you're like, oh shit, this guy looks like Rakishi. But then my neighbor's brother's like, yo, that's his twin brother. Rakishi always had a twin brother. You never knew? I said, no, never. So this is crazy.
Yeah,
So Rikishi basically raised Jacob, more or less.
yeah. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now. His Rikishi is his brother, and Umaga is also his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he has one son, Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm. Umaga's son is Zilla. That's in Reality of Wrestling in Booker T's Federation.
Okay.
It's a,
Hmm.
it shit never ends, bro. Never ends.
And just when you think you're down to the bottom, there's more. There's someone else. Man, I tell you, who knows how big, this bloodline could get real big if they really dig deep into the family and gather
Right.
like because there's a couple of guys that's in the family that is still wrestling like in different
Yes.
circuits.
Yes.
Case in point, um, what's his name? Tuma, he just signed with the WWE. And that was the first time we saw him in the ring past Friday.
Right. And it
We
seemed
haven't
like
Jake yet. So
when was the first time we started talking about Tom? We started talking about him in like February, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, it
So
was
that was the 60 days, more or less, probably. Maybe New Japan has a 60-day no fight clause.
it's
And remember,
possible.
that episode of SmackDown where I was telling you and Des um when Roman was coming into the arena that there was two guys in the background playing on the left hand side, and I'm like, yo, bro, is that Tama in the back? It was him and another guy, and I'm thinking like, yo, is that Tama? And then when then this guy came, before the Trick and Mello fight, when Mello had his little entourage, there was a light skinned guy with, there was a light skinned guy in there, and I said, yo, that looks like Tama too. I said, oh shit, are they slowly bringing him into the company without having to do anything, no competing? So maybe they gradually threw him in there and we didn't know. So oh, whew, I've been excited about Tama for a minute. No, like, I've been really excited about him because he beefed with Roman years ago on Twitter, and they had a beef in what, like 2019, 2020. There was the beef out there, and Tama wanted to fight him for the championship. So this is, they said he's probably one of the best long time storytellers that New Japan had. So let's see what he can do, with this, being in the faction.
Let's see moving forward. Because again, he just started Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
now Jacob Fatu is in the conversations. So who knows where he's gonna fall? Is he gonna fall with the bloodline? Is he gonna fall with Jay maybe? Or maybe Roman? Like who knows what they're gonna put him with? Because again, we wasn't expecting Tom to come the way he did on Friday, but
Right,
he made
right.
a splash and changed like that whole dynamic of the bloodline just like that.
So we
So
was we was told about what Jacob last week, more or less. You
yeah,
said
not
like
yeah, we got this like last week sometime, like late last week, and I was doing my research, and that's how I got this from for today about the.
so. So depending what MLW has with their fight clause, I'm gonna have to look into that shit to see that, because that was his last federation he was at with MLW. I'm gonna look into their compete clause and see if they have one. And if they don't have one, then we know he's gonna be there immediately. But if they have one, then last week was the first sign of it, and maybe 30 days to 2 months, I will give the same way they did with Tama, more than likely. Let the rumor be out there, let us fans know that he's signed, and then boom, feed him to the crowd when we least expect it.
Oh, you mean Jacob?
Yeah, because remember when the press conference happened and The Rock was showing the family tree, and I told y'all guys, I'm like, yo, he's showing Jacob. That was the name literally that was behind The Rock the most when he showed it. So I kept on saying, oh shit, they're feeding us. They gave us a subliminal before it happened when they showed it. They didn't show Zilla or anybody else because they were probably a little bit up or to the right hand side. But they fed us everything on the left, and the Jacob name was right behind it. So I said, oh shit. It was but a matter of time before the move happened. And who knows? Did they sign him back in January, February? Who knows?
No, they signed him.
Like no,
It's
like to like negotiations maybe. Like a little here, yip yip, bugging his ear type shit.
no
Maybe
Sunday,
no?
April 7th, 2024 is reported that Fatu
Okay.
had signed a deal with WWE.
Oh, so okay. So he's 10 days. Okay, 9 days in. Okay, okay, okay.
Isn't that what I said? Yeah, I thought I said on
Mm.
Sunday, April 7th, it was reported that Fatu has signed with a deal with WWE.
That was Mania weekend. That was
Yeah,
shit. That was night two.
yes.
Yeah. Oh.
And he is
Okay.
trained by Uncle Rikishi. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. Like I said, I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but yeah, he's yeah, he's in
The
the
Sam-
circuit. He's with us. Yeah.
the Samoan dynasty is in full effect.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow, Rikishi's dream is coming to life. Like
Mm-hmm.
before any of the bloodline shit started, I used to see like on Rikishi's Instagram, and he would talk about the Samoan dynasty of all his family and kids. And now look at what we're seeing: the family and the kids. His dream.
That's right.
Wow, he's a proud father for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. You know who else is proud?
Talk to me.
Somewhat. Big E. My
Mm.
neck, my heart. He
Oh,
says, end quote, "Hey all, 2-year neck scans are in. Things are unchanged. My C1 has healed fibrously, but has not formed new bone. I'm not medically cleared, and truthfully, I may never be cleared. But I am blessed to be free of pain, immensely happy, and otherwise healthy. Life
mm.
is good." Then he goes, "My neck is broken, but my heart is whole." Then a bunch of pictures came out of him wearing this Bill Cosby ish sweater, and he was posing with this gorgeous young lady. And it looked it didn't look like just two friends posing, Jay. It looked like couples. So apparently he is dating homegirl Minchin. Her name is Minchin, aka Mia Yim. He's dating her sister, Chris Yim. So that's
Mm.
Chris Yim in the pictures that we've been seeing, Jay. They are a couple. So
Mm.
congratulations to Big E and Big Chris Yim. Yeah.
The pictures were hilarious. Like the when Biggie had when they were on top of each other, the first thing I could think of was like that Will Ferrell movie when they dressed up in their sweaters together.
What's that? The Step Brothers?
Yes, that's the thought I got of it when I saw them two together in that picture.
Mm,
But then Mia Yim posted also that they had a date night, and you seen them all dressed up. But they put not only a date night, but a date night out with the family. So I said, "Oh, Big E, he must have
mm,
been must have been with her for a long time now." Because I remember on Total Divas back then, they tried to hook him up with Natty's sister, and he didn't hook up with her. So that wasn't his type back then. We see his type and what makes him happy. You know, it's not all about the looks. You know,
well, they seem to be in love, just like Minchin and Keith Lee.
right?
Yeah, they all went out on a double date. It looks like from the pictures, all look like they're happy. So congratulations to you, Big E, on finding love. Unfortunately, you're still not cleared, and I hope what needs to be healed will heal. Like I hope you speak in prematurely, and eventually it will heal. But hey, like you said, you're not experiencing any pain, so that's important. And yeah, man,
You
love
see what
lives. Love
you
wins.
see, yes, and you see what he told New Day, right? He
No,
told
what?
them that he's like, look, it's been 2 years. If y'all want to move on and find a third man, you know, go ahead. I understand I might not be able to do it no more. So they told him, hell no, we don't want no third man. New Day for life. So you know, this is a good sign to see that they will never add a third man to a new third man to this group because of the history that they've given us. as a 3-man combo. So that put a smile to my face. You know, they could have told him like, yeah, well, we already got somebody, but they said no. You know, like fuck out of here. We got this. We gonna keep represent the group. I thought that
Right.
was cool. And if I'm Big E, at least can you just do it for us? Like, give us the intro. You don't have to fight, but give us the intro. I would love to hear, don't you dare be, clap your hand, for the 10 time, 11 time chant, that should be fire. I love when he does that shit. Give us at least that if you can't fight no more.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they're gonna use him, at least for like commentaries, because he's awesome in terms of like commentaries and
Hmm.
doing how you call it, the pre-shows before the PLEs. Like I love him in those spots. So use him that way. At least use him that way. But again, we're sorry to hear what you're telling us. I hope it's premature, but congratulations on the fact that you found love. But here's something else interesting, Jay, and I call this no connections. For
Mm.
Vince McMahon, he is listing all of his remaining TKO shares.
Ooh.
It's over 8 million shares that he has left of TKO. So, as of Friday, because today's Monday, so I'm not sure what the number is of today, but Friday, after this was reported, TKO stock was at $98 a share, which makes McMahon's current stock value more than $786 million. So, Jay,
Mm.
you do realize that if he sells this and adds up all of the others, he would have made like, what, I think over $3 billion, basically selling his baby WWE.
Damn.
If he gets to release all of this, that's it, Jay. He will have not a single finger nowhere near WWE, UFC, or TKO. He's done. That's it.
Thank God. Thank
But
God.
here's a quick question for you, because somebody asked this question on Facebook. If Vince McMahon were to start a new promotion, would you tune in?
Yes. Yes, of
Really?
course. I would tune in because he's someone I grew up to. As far
Hmm.
as, him being the guy at ringside, letting us know that Saturday night's main event, when I used to be able to stay up late at nights, I would hear his voice ringside, commentary, all that shit. Like, I would definitely give it an eye, but just don't have him involved in day to day bullshit. Have younger minds if you're gonna have another company. That's what
Right. But,
that's what I would say. Buy
dude,
TNA.
we're talking about Vince McMahon here.
Vince will get
That's
guys to
all.
work for him.
Hmm.
Vince will get guys to work for him. Like if you're a Vince McMahon guy and you've worked for him before, a lot of them that really still are stuck by his side, even when he's going through what he's going through, are gonna be the same people that work for him. I would say if something like that did happen, I will, but then again, he's damn near 80 years old, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him to do it. If anything, let Shane do it. Shane got a good eye, but he doesn't want to be in that spotlight because, as we know with Shane back then, Shane McMahon was like, "I told you so, Dad. You should have just let me fucking buy this shit when I had the chance." I'll never forget that, bro. He told Vince, "Let me buy UFC." And look how the tables flipped. They bought him.
Basically.
What? What? I
Baby.
know, I know Shane is tight right now. Like I told you so. Look at what we could have controlled 10, 15 years ago. We could have had everybody. What?
Yep. Just
Like,
like how I think WWE, I think that they got their hands on Eric Rowan
mm,
because Eric Roman, excuse me, Rowan has been pulled from several upcoming independent wrestling events due to quote unquote contractual obligations.
mm,
Now, Eric was in Pittsburgh this past week where WWE talent undergo medical testings. So, yeah, going back to what you said, was it either you or Lawan? One of you guys said they was talking about the Bray Wyatt family getting back together. And I think this is a way for Eric to come back.
mm,
Yeah, I see this happening because why would you mention that? Why would he be in Pittsburgh where WWE talent is also located?
correct.
Yeah, and all of this, Uncle Howie, subliminals coming about, and how Alexa Bliss is like, I would totally want to go back, and it's just all of these coincidences are happening, and it's like, why not? Why not
Right.
bring everybody back together in homage for Bray Wyatt and to continue this story, this world that he created? Because I saw that documentary, and if you haven't seen it and you're a Bray Wyatt fan, you're absolutely going to love it. It's
And you know
like,
what's crazy?
mm-hmm,
You, you know what's crazy?
mm,
What I feel is like with what you're saying. I'm just like I feel the only ones that know Bray as far as with what he had to go forward were the ones that were by his side the most. Bo, Alexa, Rowan, Braun.
mm-hmm,
Whoever was literally by his side knows every move. So why not continue where they left off? Because Bo could be this little leader, and now the puppets of the Fireflies never the puppets never revealed themselves from the funhouse. They never revealed their mask. The last we saw of them was Uncle Howdy jumping off the stage, right?
mm-hmm.
That's the last we saw. So I've always been waiting for them to unveil who the people under those funhouse characters were. So I was always thinking Abby the Witch was Alexa because Alexa was already controlled.
Right.
And and um also since Bo we know Bo was Howdy, I was thinking to myself as well, now that I got you guys watching NXT, I look at a guy like Joe Gacy and I played this video last night and I watched it, right? Of Joe Gacy prior to him fighting um Dijak. And you hear Vic Joseph say, this guy belongs in a funhouse. I said, oh shit. Is Gacy Huskus the pig? That that character?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like we get the upside down, and then there was a match where Gacy went in the ring and he did the upside down brace shit type shit, but he held onto the ropes and did it upside down. and then his finisher is a flip upside down clothesline. Coincidence? I've been thinking this wild shit. Like, are they slowly feeding us the characters from the Funhouse and we don't know it? Like
Possibly.
I look at the buzzard, that buzzard that they had
Hmm.
with the button down. He was skinny and slim and the only person I know that wears those type of button downs is was this guy, Grayson Waller. I thought he was that buzzard based off the body type. And maybe them chicks that lost the tag team titles. Remember them chicks that lost the NXT tag team titles? Maybe one of them could be Sister Abigail, the Abby the Witch. And we all sitting here thinking is Alexa. Imagine it's one of those two chicks, Alba Fire or the other girl, because they did talk with all with, not with all this with this guy in the back recently. Remember? Hmm. I look at shit like that too.
Hmm.
Something's brewing, bro. I don't know. I'm sorry to stop the momentum, but something's brewing that we're seeing little by little, literally. Hmm.
Hmm. Gotta stay tuned. Keep all those thoughts and all those possibilities in mind, but something will happen. That
Fact.
for sure.
Hmm.
Something gonna happen that roof is going to blow off wherever they reveal all of this.
Right. And yo,
That
you
re-
heard you saw that shit about Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud.
I did. Did that air, or was it like one of those pre-recorded things?
I don't know because I saw a post and they said on an upcoming episode of Celebrity Family Feud. So I don't think they've shown it to us yet, but I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled,
Hmm.
definitely a little bit more to when they're gonna air this episode. But it's Sonya Deville, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Selena Vega, and Mi Chin. And they're going against Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, and LA Knight.
Mm.
What a 5-on-5. Hmm. I wonder who wins. I wonder who wins this one. I think the ladies win. I really think the ladies are probably smarter in this situation.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Definitely gotta tune into that because I saw the pictures also and they just said yeah we on Family Feud and they was posing with Steve Harvey, Jade and Steve Harvey, but nobody said anything about when it's going to be aired. Just said we was on it, so it's like
Right,
okay.
because I heard Damian Priest did an episode was on an episode of Wheel of Fortune, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this true that he was on one?
I
I don't
don't
know.
I, I don't remember hearing that. Oh,
I don't
but
know.
uh, they're gonna announce it, especially if it's um if it's before like a Raw or SmackDown. Hopefully they will announce when they will be on Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune because they do that sometimes. They say our superstar was here and our superstars did this and that. So hopefully they'll let us know so that we can tune in.
Yes,
But you know
sir.
what else we need to tune into? Let's go back to Raw because this is an episode of Raw J. And we got to go backstage. Let's go to backstage to Liv Morgan.
Yes,
She
sir.
has something to say, of course, after everything that's been going on with her Liv Morgan Revenge Tour t shirt. And she says,
Is this the conclusion of your revenge tour?
Do you know, Kathy, I can't even lie. I'm a little bit confused by that reaction. I feel like I'm walking around back here and everyone is mad at me. And for what? I'm not the bad guy here. Where was the sympathy for me when Rhea literally tore my shoulder out of my socket and put me on the shelf for 8 months? Oh, yeah. There wasn't any. So you know what? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a shoulder for a shoulder. This is karma at its very finest. And Rhea got exactly what she deserved. Do you want to know what the best part is? This isn't the end of the Liv Morgan revenge tour. No. This is just the beginning because the end is Liv Morgan as your women's world champion. Watch me. Is this the
So Jay, does she have a point? Like after she said that, I said, okay, well, yeah, I guess I understand why you did what you did because she did it to her first. So it's just, you know, it's revenge, a shoulder for a shoulder. So you know what? I'm not even mad at you. I'm not mad at you, Liv, because you did what you felt that you had to do, and
You
you
heard
did it.
you heard the crowd. The crowd
Mhm,
reaction was crazy. They were
mhm.
crazy.
So yeah, so now I get it, Jay. I get it now, and this is part of her revenge tour.
Hmm.
Got it. Okay, got it. Anything else you want to add to this? Anything else you want to?
She all that fucking crying. You took me out for 8 months. Come on. Come
Okay,
on.
so I tell you what, then, Jay. How about you cheer all of us up by talking about what happened in the ring, before we get our newly
Oh
crowned
man. Cody.
undisputed.
Oh, you fucking with me.
What happened? What
You said
happened with Cody, our
nothing.
undisputed WWE champion? Because
He comes
apparently there's
out.
no Universal, so like that
Right.
is like the graphic and the information. Like it says undisputed WWE champion. So
Hmm.
apparently Universal is like scrapped.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so yeah, Jay, do tell what happened in this little promo with Cootie.
During, during the promo, he was talking some French, as well as thanking Adam Pierce for letting him hang out there because he's technically a SmackDown guy, and he's also mentioning to the crowd who do they want him to fight. Would it be L.A. Knight? And the crowd chants, yeah. Then he says AJ, and the crowd boo. So we don't know what's gonna happen there. Stay tuned Friday. And then he mentions, starts thanking Seth because Seth was his shield. He'll forever be a good friend to him. And you know, it was news to him what The Rock did over the weekend when The Rock came out and started talking about the 10-week program that he had and the people that he paid and the glitz and the glamour of getting into shape for a fight, you know, and it left him to the point where he knows that The Rock ain't fighting for one more match. He's fighting for more and multiple matches. So Cody already sent us a subliminal there, letting us know The Rock is not fighting only once. It's gonna be more than one. So we stay tuned to that. And also he was like, if you telling me that you're gonna make me bleed, I'm gonna make sure you bleed. So both of us, if we fight, we're gonna leave this ring bloody together, and that's what I'm expecting when them two do meet up in the ring. It's a bloody hell of a match when they do fight. But you see, Cody was also confused about the bloodline situation with Tama, and no Roman to be found. And when he mentions that part, he's making us think as far as what I told you earlier with the part like who's the real lead, who's calling the shots. So Cody already put that out there for us, and he wants to thank another friend for having his back, and the crowd already kind of knew who it was, and it was your boy, none other than the Yeet Man himself, Jay Uso. Now, bro, after Jay came out, Pat and Michael Cole were going at it back and forth, and oh my God, Pat is like, I can feel it. I can feel it on my yeet. And then and then Michael Cole is like, don't yeet on yourself again. So Mac is like, you're my useless partner, and I Canadian yeet it on myself. Jeez Louise. And Michael Cole's like, yo, don't be yeeting on me. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You yeeting on him? I'm like, yo, he paid him back for that bullshit earlier with Sheamus. He's like, fuck it, I'ma just yeet on you. He's like, I just yeet on you. Bro, that shit had me dying. Literally. Like that was A1, and the way that Pat is flowing with it, only us older guys could understand this. The kids at home are probably thinking to themselves like, what do these guys are? What do they mean? But only like we grown adults know what the fuck they talking about, and it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be left dying because of this shit. So when Cody brings him out and he lets him know, he congratulates him on being number one contender, and he's like, nobody deserves this shot but main event. Jey Uso, you deserve this main event shot. So you help me finish your story, and I'm gonna help you finish yours. I know the bloodline lurking. I'm gonna help you win this match tonight, and no, not the bloodline, but I mean the Judgment Day is lurking, and they don't always come by themselves. So he was like, nah, I gotta do this by myself, and I gotta give him a yeet down by myself. I'm Mr. Yeet Master. So the crowd yeets with him, and the shit that Cody said was so funny at the end. Until we yeet again. I said, oh shit. Fucking Cody. This was his swan song to go to SmackDown now. So this was it. No more Monday Night Raws for Cody. That's it. SmackDown, here we come.
Mm. That was it. This the last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to see him again in Raw for quite a bit of time. It's just for this moment, being right after Mania. You say you shall face here Raw, shall face here on SmackDown, do it again on Raw, and then come back home to SmackDown Friday. Okay.
Right.
Till we eat again.
Oh
But here's
shit.
something interesting that while you was talking, I went on the WWE.com and I went to their superstars section. And like right off top, they give you the WWE champions and the NXT champions, and then they give you the rest of the roster. Why is it that Cody Rhodes is on here twice? There's two pictures of Cody. One that says
What?
Cody Rhodes, Universal Champion, and then the same picture with the same belt says Cody Rhodes, Undisputed WWE Championship. I find this very odd because now you're saying that there are, in fact, two different titles, but they look the same. It's the Universal and the Undisputed WWE champion. Hmm.
Mm. Mm. You
Mm,
think they up? Do you think they updated by Friday?
maybe, but this is
Something to keep our eye on for sure. See if they
oh,
change it during the week.
absolutely doing this whole revamping and creating of titles.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, personally, I wouldn't be mad at all if they were to just get rid of the Universal, but you know, like where would it go? Like if Cody has it, how would somebody get it? Will someone get it with the undisputed WWE, or would they get it separate? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to even think about it until it comes up on conversation. But
Right, right.
yeah, he's
This is more for a discussion on Friday. We'll know
hmm
something. We'll know something by Friday night.
hopefully,
Hmm.
hopefully. But let me put a big smile on your face, Jay, because we're going to
Yes.
talk about your boo, Nia Jax. For
Oh,
for Miss Kelly got her backstage looking all cute. She looks so cute with her hair tied up and just looks so ready to hit the runway because she used to be a plus size model, Jay.
mm-hmm.
hmm So we got her backstage, and she says,
Kathy, there are two types of people in this world: those who care about Rhea and those who want to see her get a revenge. I'm neither. I don't give a damn about Rhea. The last time I saw her, she was mine. Now I look at the women's world title and I think, who is going to stop me from taking it? Liv, the last time I saw her, she was mine. Becky, last time I saw her, she was mine. Now in 2 weeks, there's a draft, and I might be facing somebody I've never seen before. And to them I say, there are two types of people in this world: those who fear Nia Jax and those who learn to fear Nia Jax. No one on this planet is taking that title from me because it is mine.
mm, "Wouldn't you love to be on that list, Jay?"
oh, oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of my friends sent me a picture of a guy drooling, and he was like, "Yo, this is Jay when Nia Jax comes out," and I was like, "Oh God, if y'all guys don't know how, like, damn, she's one that's I always go Google for." So when she came up there with them curls on her hair, I was just like, "Ooh, Jesus Christ, Jesus."
hmm
Yeah, that's all. I was like, "Damn, speak, girl, please. I want you to win the title. Like if Rhea's gonna be out, please put it on my girl. Please, she deserves it more than anybody. I don't care how long she was off on TV for it when she wasn't fighting at Mania. She didn't have a Mania match or whatever. But like she said, I beat this one. I beat this one. I put holes through them. I stomped them. I beat them. Did this. Did that. Like she got to. I don't see nobody that can literally stand in her way. But when she started mentioning the draft, I said, "Oh God." Don't tell me they gotta wait to this draft to determine a tournament or a title thing for this. I wanted them to like give us some answers to this tonight, but you could kind of tell they don't know what they're gonna do, so they're stalling with it as far as what they're gonna do with this women's title. So you hear that two people already talk about the championship is only leading me to guess that maybe those two women fight for it, or maybe they just add a couple of extra women to it and have maybe a 6-pack challenge or something with these women to see who's the champ, or maybe a ladder match at Backlash. Something, something got to happen.
Well, Jay, I got to remind you and everyone that the draft is not going to happen, not this week, but part 1 will be next Friday, during the next Friday SmackDown on the 26th. And then it's going to conclude on Monday Night Raw that Monday, the 29th. So those 2 days, we will get a whole lot of answers to our questions as to who is going where and who will possibly team up with who and who is going to go against this title and this person and just a whole bunch of good old drafty stuff, you know? Good
Right.
old drafty stuff. But hey, Jay, it's time to go yeeting. Let's go yeeting in
Yeah.
the ring, Jay. For we got Jay
Ooh.
Uso versus Finn Balor. So, right off the bat, before the bell even rings, Finn comes out of nowhere and just bashes Jay in the back of the head. Ugh, what a Judgment Day move. Not even surprised that he did that. But Jay, why don't you tell us your thoughts on this match, and then we can talk about the interesting thing that happened afterwards.
Well, during the match, like you said, Finn came in and jumped him from behind. I was like, oh, what a way to start the match before the bell rings. And I like the basement drop kick that Finn did, and the chops that he was giving Jay in the beginning, and the fact that when Jay hit the Uso splash, that they gave a crazy aerial overhead view of it, and I said, yo, that shit is fire. The way they did that, like you could really say he's a flying Uso. That's the way they
Mhm.
used to call it back then. So I thought that was cool, and the fact that Jay won the match,
Mhm.
which gives him momentum, but at the same time, they didn't listen. These Judgment Day assholes didn't listen to Priest when they said when Priest said go out and handle business and win. Y'all lost. Y'all keep on losing. What's going on? Really? Like Dom takes a L. Finn takes a L. Uh-uh. Priest is gonna be not gonna be too happy next week. I look at that shit a lot. Like, you really did this? Come on now. After it is on you, Shane. What happened after it?
I gotta before we say that, I just love how Damien, this was the part when Damien comes into the ring and he has a stare down with Jay. And he's holding up the title that Jay is going after because they two are scheduled to have a title match for that very title that he was holding up in the air. And then Judgment Day tries to attack Jay. But then Jay managed to he super kicks, I think it was either Dom or JD. I got them too confused. Then he goes over the barrier into the audience. Somebody jumps over, one of them jumps over and try to get some, and he throws him into, it looks like Finn. Like it was all three of them that was trying to get him, but Jay managed to maneuver his way out of there. And here is where the fun begins. Jay runs up, everybody is like, patting him and saying congratulations and, getting high fives and stuff like that. So Jay is he is in the audience in the 100 section. The camera follows him. Des, I hope you get to listen to this and we're going to talk about this. Jay starts to walk up the steps. He walks up, and then he goes through the exit. He makes a right turn and he's walking through the concession area. There's like a concession stand and everything there. And people are there. They're giving him high fives. They're saying congratulations. And he's going, yeet, yeet, yeet. Jay talking his thing. He's doing this thing, yeet, yeet, yeet. And he's just walking. We don't even know where he's going. Like, you're not going in the locker room because you're way up here in the 100 section. people's continuing to give him high fives, hey, congratulations, and people is trying to stand next to him and get a picture. And one knucklehead, I don't know if you noticed, Jay, one knucklehead got crosses in front of Jay to try to get his phone. Like his slow ass can't get his phone to set so he could get the picture, and Jay pushes him out of the way, and you hear the audience laughing. And I was even like, "You idiot!" Like, dude, you like in general, people, when you are in a situation, you have about 5 seconds to get your phone set and ready. You're supposed to look at your phone, know exactly where your camera is, get that bastard set and shoot. That guy, he took way too long. And what happened? He was so focused on his phone to get his phone set, he didn't realize that he literally stood and jumped in front of Jay's path. So that's why Jay had to push his ass literally out of the way and out of the screen. And people was laughing because it was like this doofus, and Jay walked all the way towards the outside where he meets up with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is standing outside and he's looking up, and Jay is like, "Yo, what's up? What's going on? Why you standing out here?" And he's just basically, and Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he's like just reminiscing. He's just looking up and he's like, "Yo, I was born not too far from here, and I had my matches here and stuff like that. And I'm about to, defend my title again out here tonight, this, that, and the third." And Jay was like, "Okay, cool." And this is all one shot, everybody. So now we're following Sammy with the same shot. Sammy does the same thing. He walks the same path that Jay just did, giving everybody high fives, amping everybody up because he was amped. He was ready. Did the whole walk all the way down into the arena to the ground floor. And then instead of going into the ring, he went left and continued to give high fives all in the audience. And that was like all one camera angle until we went to commercial break. Whew. That was absolutely amazing. The fact that that was all one shot, Jay. And
bro, what was it me or during that camera angle? Like they got sidetracked because I I thought that Sammy was gonna go to the ring, and he
mhm,
took a detour back and went more into the crowd and was just
mhm,
getting turned up. Like
mhm.
I could see the look on the security guard's face is like, what the fuck did he just do?
They didn't know what to do. They was
Yo,
lost because you would
that
think that he was going to the ring, and then he said, "No, no, no, I'm going to stay."
detour.
He did that a couple of times, like until they went to commercial. They went to a commercial break with him still in the audience, and then when we came back from commercial, he was finally inside the ring. But it took a
Mhm.
while, Jay, for him to get in the ring, and he definitely had that security working, especially when he was like on the seats, the front seats towards the ring. That's when they was really like, like gaining up on him, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
I seen
even,
it.
and it
you saw
and it
you
wasn't
saw the little
even.
boy.
Yeah, the boy, a boy ran up to him and stood in front of him because somebody wanted to take a picture of them together. I think they got it if he was quick enough. They would have got it because the kid was smart. He stood there and smiled, and I think Sammy saw it and he did it too, but it was like only for like a second or two. It was
Yeah,
like
he
a
stood.
whole.
I noticed that. I definitely
Yeah,
noticed that.
yeah, he actually did pose for like just a second, but that security because the people, and it's wild because it wasn't like they was going to grab them or hurt them and anything like that because we don't do that here in the WWE universe. We just want to high five or get that camera to get the selfie of the superstar standing next to us. So at that moment, that's what everybody was trying to do at the same time. So if you are not a wrestling fan, you're looking like, oh my goodness, look at him. He's getting mobbed. He's getting mobbed. But no, it's just a bunch of selfie people that's trying to get their moment with Sami Zayn so that they can post it and say, hey, look, Sammy posed with me and this, that, and the third. But everybody was doing that. But I think that kid, he probably got the best shot out of everybody that stood near him. Followed by the guy that got pushed away by Jey Uso. that
Oh
that's
man,
like that's definitely going to be like
that that was
they're going to be
definitely hilarious.
yeah they're going to be like, Phil, was that you, Phil? Was that you that got pushed away by Jay? Phil, what's the matter with you? Why would you stand in front of Jay like that? And how come you have your phone ready, your camera ready? Ugh, what a dork. You're such a dork, dude. But they did all. It was a cool transition, Jay, to lead us to the final match of the night, the main event, which is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. So before before Chad came out, because Chad was in the gorilla area. This is the it's like a little room that all the superstars come out before we see them, and that's also where Triple H and a couple of other people, they sit there in front of monitors. This is where Vince McMahon used to sit also, Jay, and they called that the little gorilla area. So Bronson Reed comes out to Chad, and I guess he's basically saying that, regardless on who has that title, I'm coming for you, because he has his eyes on the title. So it was just like, it's just a warning, to keep your eyes open, because I'm going to be right there, regardless if you win or not. So that's what I got from that, Jay, unless it was something else that he said that I missed.
Nah, I just got the idea like Bronson's like, look, both of y'all guys better watch your back. I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been looking at a guy in Bronson after he won the Andre the Giant Memorial as a player in the game, and the
Mm-hmm.
fact that his momentum got sidetracked before Elimination Chamber with the birth of his child. So now, Triple H loved this guy a lot the first time he had him, and Vince didn't want him. Vince fired him. Triple H rehired him. He loves him. Same way he loves Ricochet. Loves him. So
Mm-hmm.
we could see a slow push with Bronson, and like he said, I'm next. So be ready for a tsunami.
Right. Right. I'm looking forward to that. So, as Samantha, the ring announcer Samantha, doing her awesome job as always, she introduces Chad, and of course, being that we're in Montreal, Canada, Chad gets booed. He gets booed, heavy booed. I mean, he got heavy booed. And for a second, you're like, well, damn, that's messed up. But then again, we're in Canada. Don't forget what we just witnessed from Sammy. Like, Sammy basically like put his stamp on everybody. Like, literally was running around the arena putting his stamp on. So of course the crowd goes wild when she says Sami Zayn. We're in Canada, of course. So so Jay, what did you get out of this final main event match between Sammy and Chad?
Well, between them two in this match, I seen something different from from Chad. Gave me more Kurt Angle vibes tonight, especially when he did the Olympic slam off the top ropes. I said,
Mm,
"Oh shit!" And then
beautiful.
there was a point in the match they were both doing Germans to each other, back and forth. So you're like, oh, they're getting real. They grinding this match out, and the fact he gave him the ankle lock. So everything, his whole game, his whole change is Kurt Angle all the way. And like you said, he was about to say, I know he was about to say that fucking that Olympic slam was fucking beautiful. He did it nice,
It
real crisp.
was. It was beautiful. It really was.
I,
Go ahead, you
I,
continue.
I really see the change, and it's gonna be a good one to see with him. What I was thinking was, does he embrace the Kurt Angle role and cut his hair off too, and and go bald? I wouldn't be too surprised. And the fact that there was a part in the match where Sammy tried to get the sharpshooter, and he got missed. He missed it, and another ankle lock came upon it, and then another German, and then he misses the moonsault, but gets ankle locked again, and somehow Sammy wins. After this match, bro, I'll leave this on you, bro. Oh man, Lawan, got what you wanted, bro. You got what you wanted. You
Yeah,
here now. You listening. You here listening. You got what you wanted.
basically afterwards, Sammy had the celebration. It goes over to his wife, and I think it was that his father that he hugged first before his wife. He hugged this old guy with this beard.
More than
Is that
likely.
yeah his father or something like that? And kissed him on the shoulder like it was a very sweet moment. And then he goes over and he kisses his wife. And out of nowhere, Chad comes and suplexes him. I was like, oh shit. And as soon as he did that, I said, there you go, Lawan. I said, there it is. Because Lawan called this out. He said this. He said this was going to happen, and it happened. So congratulations and shout out to Lawan for saying what was going to happen tonight was going to happen, and it did. So now I see Jay him cutting his hair um to look like Kurt Angle because he's mad now. You lost, dude. This is the third time that you went for the title. Two against Gunther and you lost. You was talking all of this mess about you beating Sammy and you lost fair and square. So now you want to go this evil route. So now you're going to be this guy like Juan was saying. Now you're this evil guy. So let's see what this evil guy is going to do. Let's see if this evil guy can actually get a win. That's what I'm looking for, Jay. What is there something that you're looking for besides that? Like what is it that's on your mind? What are you looking for, Jay?
Me, well, with Gable going bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, if I'm looking for it, like I said, the bald part,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that he's gonna he when he turns on the crowd, he's gonna be like, look, y'all wasn't thanking me enough. I might have been throwing my twos in the air and saying thank you to you, but y'all wasn't really thanking me back. So I had to do this. I
Mm-hmm.
keep on losing and losing and losing, and now I have to change because I've not been thanked enough. Y'all overlooked me, and I've overlooked myself. I had a game plan. I thought I knew his weaknesses, and his weaknesses now make me stronger. So now that he realizes that he's lost, I definitely see a rematch upon the horizon. But now that we've seen this ain't done. Sammy's gonna be like, no, 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 no. You ain't do this shit in front of my wife and then gloat in front of my wife and get away with it. I'm gonna beat your ass. That's the kind of idea I got from Sammy. Like, I'm getting from off of this. That Sammy's revenge is gonna be crazy.
I mean, it has to be because look how it ended. Look what Chad was doing to Sammy. He had his
Right.
ass up on what's that? The second and top rope with an ankle lock in front of his wife. Are you kidding me? I am going for blood.
Hell
One,
yeah.
I want your blood I want your blood on my rice. Like
Fuck
that's how
catching
much
up.
I want your blood on my white rice like soy sauce. And we'll just call it
Yeah.
ketchup or tomato sauce. Like because I mean, that was just and not only his wife, but dude, this happened in Canada. This
In
is
front
happening
of
in your
you.
hometown,
Right.
in front of your people. You was born 45 minutes away from that very spot that you just got played. Yeah, this is totally not over. Totally not over.
Nah. You know what's crazy? What I was looking at. I'm not sure if you ever saw on the reasons to why Sammy got the finisher move, the haluva kick.
Mm.
He he watched WCW back in the day since it was heavy in Canada, and he said he was watching an episode in where Six, aka X Pac, used the haluva kick and debuted it back then. And he said, as of recently, he just realized that it's not really called haluva kick. It's called hell of a kick.
Hmm.
I was like, oh shit. You took that long to realize your move was that name? Of course, when you write it down on a piece of paper, it's hell of a kick. So for him just to think about it and realize as of lately, like, damn, it's a hell of a kick. But everybody refers it to as haluva kick.
Hoover kick.
Yeah. So kudos to X Pac. For having a move like that, and Sami Zayn re-bringing that move out. And Sami said that he's been using that move ever since he's been a professional wrestler.
Mhm.
In his days fighting in Montreal, in his days until coming to NXT and on the main roster, that's been his go-to move. And he's like, it's always felt the same way. It's never changed to him. So I found that quite crazy that who he got the move from, and not too many people will be like, oh, we got a move from X Pac. But then again, we slowly seen X Pac moves being done. Like the Bronco Buster gets done once in a blue. We'll see the Bronco. Yeah, I said the Bronco Buster. The nut, the face mat that he does to the floor, the face plant. We see that move a little bit here and there by certain. I think Maxine did it one time,
Mhm.
but definitely it's cool. And then early on, like I said today, we got a famouser out the blue from Kofi. So it was like, what? The X guys are being recognized. That was cool.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Boy,
everybody.
boy,
That, ladies and gentlemen, is our recap of Raw. That was Monday Night Raw, along with our rumors, reactions, and hot takes. So before we
woo.
go, we have to always ask this one last question of the night. And that is, Jay, what is your Three Bells match and or moment of the night?
My match of the night, I would have to say, hmm, hmm, Jesus, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I will go with that triple threat match with DIY, the Creed Bros, and New Day. Because, you know, you've been one who's been watching a lot of the Creed brothers, and me as an NXT guy, I just like real wrestling, and they gave us real wrestling in the ring, and the fact that DIY always does good in the ring as well. Their cohesion in the ring is A1, and also with New Day, you know that's why I like the match because all three teams know each other, they know each other's partners well, and all performed. And not even move of the night, but moment of the night was at the end, bro. That that um that Chad Gable heel turn. That was the moment of the night to me. That shit made the ending of Raw go off the air with Son ankle locking him on the top ropes, looking at his wife like, ah. What you gonna do about it? You ain't doing shit.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. And here are your three belts. You know, I'm going to say for my match, I'm going to say the same thing: DIY versus New Day versus Creed Brothers. It's always good to see the New Day do their thing, even though they don't have Big E with them. They can show that they are still a good tag team. DIY, we already know that they are awesome. And Creed Brothers, I'm telling you, keep your eyes on these guys. They are going, something big is going to happen with them. And I'm just staying tuned. I'm waiting patiently. So I say that's my match. My moment of the night, I mean, easily I would agree with you, Jay, that little moment at the end. However, my moment of the night was that entire one camera shot that followed Jay all the way outside to meet up with Sammy, and then from Sammy follow him all the way back into the ring. That's my moment and my match of the night. Well, everybody, that is our show for tonight. Dude, we have been on here for 3 hours and 22 minutes, Jay. Just you and I talking. Isn't that something?
And
And the
bro,
executive was so worried.
exactly. We did it the right way. Like, bro, I didn't even pay attention to the time. This shit ran so smooth. Bro, it's been a blast tonight. Definitely.
It's been a blast. And guess what, Jay? It may be over for tonight, but we get to do it all over again tomorrow at 10:20 when we or you host the NXT recap. And then on Friday, I get to host SmackDown. And we do this every Monday at 11:15 for Raw, every Tuesday at 10:20 for NXT, and every Friday 10:20, excuse me, 10:20 at NXT and 10:15 every Friday for SmackDown. And if for some reason you can't get into your stereo app, you can catch us on our YouTube page. We do have a YouTube page that has all of our episodes there, and it's called the Three Bells Podcast. So, yeah, everybody, that's it. And it's me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
It's
Money
me,
talk.
Here comes the
your
money.
homie Shane O'Mac, saying thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of Raw. Thank you so much to my tag team partner, Triple J, for making this a very interesting conversation night. Hope that everyone is safe and blessed, and look forward to seeing and hearing from you tomorrow. This is your
Yeah.
homie, Shane O'Mac, coming to you live from the Three Bells podcast table, saying good fright, good night.
Yeah, Shane. You already know, Shane. We'll be back on here later on in the day since it's already almost 3 in the morning. So we'll be back on here at 10:20 tonight with that NXT recap where our boy Trick Willie and Mello Hayes fight in a steel cage in the main event. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I thank everybody for joining us and sticking through it, for us tonight. Without our guy Des, Taker, Mr. AKA himself, our guy on vacay. Yeah. Drew, thank you for sticking it through as well. You already know. Cook it up. And on that note, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Or shall I say, later on tonight, everybody. Yeah.
And as Mundo would say, no yeet.